No problem.
That's probably why.
Well, our audio is coming in now, so we're basically good.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Nice, 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 nice. What's going on, dear Grace host Kaine Walker back with another episode of the Monkey's Paw, episode 54, where we document the downfall of mainstream Western entertainment. I am joined by my co-host Soups. How you doing tonight, bro?
Doing good. Doing good. Happy to be here as always.
Absolutely. It's still crazy how I've managed to keep doing these for the past like 3 years. It's pretty fun,
Yeah,
to be
especially with
honest.
all the tech issues. Especially with all the tech issues we keep having.
Yeah, yeah, those have gone down, but yeah, eventually, like I keep saying, I do want to do these at least like twice a week, at least. But I'm gonna have to work out my schedule first. But anyway, there's been a lot of weird news going on for the past couple weeks about, I mean, the usual, just politics and entertainment, but a lot of it has to do with um, intersectionalism or like identity politics, mostly, especially when we talk about what's it called? Especially when we talk about how entertainment is received, and it doesn't really matter how good or bad it is because it's not being judged on its merit. It's being judged on the creator's political leaning. And that's gonna tell you not only the type of content you're gonna receive, but the type of people who will immediately try to, dismiss it, or not even dismiss it, just tear it down. Um, yeah. Give me 1 second.
see. Did somebody just walk into our chat again?
Yeah, Black. Um, I was trying to.
Oh my God.
I mean, no, he's fine. I'm just, you know, I just
I'm
messing with
still
him.
reeling over the last time he butted in.
I mean, what? It was a good talk though. It was a good talk.
It was, but it was so out of left field, it really threw me off.
Yeah. Well, I guess man, this first topic for today, I really didn't want to talk about just because it was just it was just so bad. It was so bad. Like, oh my god, it was tasteless. It was embarrassing. Most people would call it cringe. It was. Let me just go ahead and take down the
Oh,
title, bro. Let me just.
you gotta have to bring out the new superhero in town,
Yeah, let's just rip the band-aid off.
Captain Durag.
Oh my god. Yeah, so this is what Disney thinks connects with people. This this right here.
Mm. Particularly black people, because you know damn well they don't care about the whites.
It's just so weird, bro. What the of all the things, like why didn't you just make a black superhero just like a superhero that happens to be black, as they say. It had to be like a stereotype. It still kills me that they think this is what connects. This is what they think will bring in, I don't know, new black viewers. Is that what they? This will be something that entertains and informs the black youth. Like what I don't know. What were they thinking with this shit? I just don't understand.
Hey, we want to diversify our audience. What do you think the black kids want? They want someone like them. So, we're gonna make a black superhero. Never been done before.
I mean, that's the thing though. They didn't even make a black superhero. Like they didn't even play it straight. You know what I mean? Like they could have made somebody like Black Lightning, or Mister Terrific, or John Stewart.
Luke
But
Cage or Isom from Ripa, but oh, they ain't gonna touch that with a 10 foot pole.
Blue Marvel, Silver Sentry from Ninja Turtles. No, Captain fucking Durag, bro. And then they gave him a fucking purple costume at that, bro. Like I just don't get it, bro. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
not even black.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust the window so everybody can see it. Hang on. But yeah, how do you feel about the decision?
I think it's the funniest fucking thing they've done in the last since the last funniest thing they've done.
What was the last funniest thing they've done?
Oh man, where to start? Oh, wait.
Where to start? Damn.
We could talk about, we could go back to, was it, uh, the Power Man Disney Plus that nobody's watching. We could talk about like
Yeah.
a line or Snow White, Rachel Zegler. You tell me, give me any example of the last funniest thing they've done.
They did do the Eternals. That was definitely a thing. It
Oh, Eternals was a thing?
Yep. It certainly existed. You don't remember Eternals? You don't remember them? The
Oh, I do. Um, I just think that everyone forgot about them, even Disney.
Well, Disney is desperately trying to forget them. What's good, Jimbo? Disney is
Yeah,
desperately trying to forget the Eternals. I don't.
especially after the Captain Falcon movie failed. Oh, that's another funny thing.
Yeah, that I don't. His whole ordeal is just sad, if I'm being honest. What's up,
I
Green?
mean,
Insert
some
over the top
there's other
joke.
situations I consider more sad than what's going on.
Insert over the top joke about the 13 over 50 saving you from theft. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, we got a superhero that'll tackle the 40 the other half of the crime and not the full crime.
Oh boy. Let's just get into the article. I think I'll be able to get out more of my frustration doing that. Like, let's see what they say. Disney's
All right,
newest
all right.
Disney's newest black superhero, Captain Durag. Ah, Disney. The company who in recent years have been making all of the wrong decisions with how they produce their movies. Their live actions have been horrible. They have been tanking the fan base of their established properties. And whenever you turn around, they're coming out with a new character that seems to put the internet ablaze. This time, they released a new superhero character in a kids show that has caused massive backlash within the community. The character is named Captain Durag. For some context, the character was created in the show by the name of Hey AJ, a show for children by Martellus Bennett, which was also based on a book of the same name. The show features a number of black characters and stars a black family. That is not the issue. The issue is the character they introduced in their latest episode of the show. The newest episode came out on February 16th on Disney Plus, which that's probably outdated by now, but again, I didn't want to cover this because it was just it was embarrassing, it was cringe. I just wanted to forget this ever existed, but since Soups badly wanted to cover it and since it speaks to a parallel dealing with other topics we'll be discussing tonight, I decided to just rip the band-aid off. You're welcome. I typed it
Thank
wrong.
you.
Oh my god. We could have gotten a re-release of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Absolutely. I would have loved that. I would have gotten that on PC. The mods would have been crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, I imagine just being able to play PS3 games on the PS5 on a hard disk.
Yeah, that would be fire.
The dream of every gamer.
Yeah. My bad, I was reading chat. The newest episode came out on February 16th on Disney Plus and introduced the character Captain Durag. Yes, that is his name. Captain Durag is a black superhero in this world. Now, what is the issue? Simple. This character is a stereotype. Of all the names you could have picked for the character, you settled on Captain Durag. The character itself uses a durag. Character itself uses a durag as a cape, and from what I've seen, has no relatable powers to it. He's just named after the durag he wears. There are several black superheroes out there with unique names: Storm, Black Panther, Blade, Static. His name is not Static Shock, it's just Static. Bumblebee, Vixen, Moon Girl, Photon, Cyborg, Frozone. Who is Bumblebee? I think of the fucking Transformer.
Well, wait, no, there is a legit character named Bumblebee. It's just
Yeah, but who is it?
very obscure, more obscure character.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea who that is. I know every character on this list except him. But anyway, but instead of picking a normal or unique name, a normal name for a superhero that doesn't scream stereotype, they went with Captain Durag. Bro, do you know how fire Frozone is? Frozone is legitimately a cool superhero. Like,
Yeah, in more ways than one.
he's. Oh my god, that was so corny. I was trying to avoid that. But Frozone is like one of my
Well, I'm
favorite.
not.
Frozone is like one of my favorite non-mainstream superheroes because like first of all it's such a simple character. You know what I mean? And it's so simple and it's so unique to the setting that it's almost refreshing, even though we've seen his powers before, coupled with his personality his costume choice, and his relationship with the main characters and things like that. I mean, he just comes across as an authentic person rather than a black guy who's a superhero. You know what I mean? Like a character
Also,
like Frozone would have easily worked. Like if you replace Captain Durag with Frozone, the show is like 100 times better. Like it's not even close. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also as an extra detail, being voiced by Samuel Jackson. You gotta be the
That's
coolest
true.
person in the room.
That's true. Absolutely. That helps. That helps a lot. It's kind of cheating.
Yeah, it is kind of cheating, but it works.
Yeah. Some people have tried to say that Captain Underpants is the same. What?
What?
First of all, I
Who
used to.
said that?
First of all, I don't know who said that, but maybe they have a source for it. Let's just say this is true, right? Somebody has been saying that Captain Durag and Captain Underpants is no, it's not. It's not the same at all. First of all, Captain Underpants, there's no stereotype for white people in fucking underpants. I mean,
Do they believe
unless
that all white people love wearing underpants?
unless somebody wants to fucking clue me in on that. Second of all, isn't it like a? It's been a while since I've read the books, but isn't it like uh he like basically transforms into a not transforms his body because the it's literally just the teacher wearing underpants and a cape, but like something happens to where his personality changes, and that's when he becomes Captain Underpants. That's another difference, right? Like the characters are nothing alike. Like Captain Underpants is not even close to being a stereotype. As a matter of fact, I think they tried to do like this parody thing where it's like a scientific accident involving underpants. Again, correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a long time since I've read Captain Underpants. But no, it's fundamentally different from Captain Durag. The connotation is different. The association between the character and the chosen garment is different. It's nowhere near the same. It's not even close. It's not the same.
What do you mean? Maybe the captain is chosen by the holy durag. Passes by passes after one man runs his last fade.
Oh my
It's a,
god,
it's a
bro.
testament.
He's gonna wave check his ops. No, never mind. Anyway, they they are not. Yeah, they are not exactly. Some people have tried to say that Captain Underpants is the same. They are not. Underpants is universal. Everyone of every creed wears underpants. Durags are rooted in black culture. It is something specific to black people. It's like making a Chinese hero and naming him Captain Chopsticks or an Arabian
Oh,
hero
don't give him ideas.
or an Arabian hero named Captain Turban. It's stereotypical. Captain Durag is what the Boondocks would have come up with for a black superhero as satire. In fact, Uncle Ruckus would have come up with the same name for. He would have come up with something much worse. Actually, he would not have come up with Captain Durag. He would have come up with some. He would have came up with some wild shit. I can't even say who he would have came up with. Actually, we have an example of a character.
Captain Nick.
No, we have an example of a character that he came up with that was like a legendary superhero like figure from not the Jim Crow era, from like antebellum slavery, I believe. And it was like this guy who used to catch slaves and 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 bring them back to their masters. And like the depiction of this character, y'all need to go look this up. I think it was Catcher Freeman. I think it was Catcher. Yeah, bruh. I think it was Catcher Freeman, and like he depicted him as like this ape-like. You need to look it up. Uncle Ruckus, Catcher Freeman. Just look it up. Just look it up. Ruckus did something. We already know he wouldn't have stopped at Captain Durag because he's already not stopped at Captain Durag. Catcher Freeman, bruh. Oh, Jimbo's saying it. Yeah, Uncle Ruckus spoke of Catcher Freeman. He would not have stopped there, bro. It would have been so much worse. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now, if Boondocks ever did come back, I would love for them to do an episode of that just for the jokes.
Well, that episode is already made. The thing about that character is that it only works for the time period. It
No, but I
literally.
mean like actually do a Captain Durag parody.
Oh
You
no.
got Catcher Freeman. Now I want a crossover of Captain Durag versus Catcher Freeman.
It'll be Captain Throw Pick and his side kid, uh, Wave Cap Lad.
Wait, I was
Man,
thinking Melon Boy.
Melon Boy is crazy. No. Oh my god. But nah, where was I? Oh yeah, we were talking about Ruckus. Captain Durag. But two, it shows that maybe they don't understand representation the way they thought they did. In fact, this scenario reminds me of the Marvel What If Miles Morales was Thor and they ghetto-fly Asgard, bro. They gave the Frost Giants fades, bro, and waves. I think they gave some of them beards too. Like it was the most out of touch shit I'd ever seen. By Odin's Fade, Hammer Time. Like
What is
Asgard had shoes thrown over power lines, bro. What the fuck? That's the type of shit they think.
Wait,
That's the type of shit they thinks connects with people, and that's the
I just
type of shit.
realized.
That's the type of shit they're pushing. Also, that's the only type of shit that's being fronted by the mainstream because they think that shit is inclusive when it's actually just insanely stereotypical and offensive because it doesn't
Kane,
hit. Huh?
I said Kane, I just realized.
What?
We just found out what Captain Durag's sign is.
Oh no. What?
That's how anytime there's trouble, throw some shoes over a power line and he'll come answering the call.
That's his signal. That's crazy.
That's
That's crazy. The rag signal. But nah, like the reason why it's so reductive is because it depicts black people as nothing more than their race and whatever stereotypical vestiges thereof. Like they don't depict the characters in the stories as unique individuals with their own personal struggles and biases. They don't challenge them. They don't make them question themselves. They don't introduce them to people who make them contemplate their own identity. They don't do any of that. They don't make complex characters. They make Captain Durag and fucking Miles Morales Thor, bro. That's the type of shit they want to sell you.
And that's the thing. For the most part, they always focus on the ghetto, like the ghetto black people in particular, not the like. I mean, yeah, they do the same
Not
shit too
not
with like
country,
Africans,
not the
but
country,
not as
not the
frequently
suburban.
as with like not as frequently as the ghetto black culture,
Yeah,
which
it's very weird.
yeah.
They don't want to look at any sort of race of color, insert Spinge Bill, from any sort of universal lens. Like they don't want to look at a homogenized like version of what a person like an American person of color would be. Like it's just weird. It's so weird, bro. It's almost like a fetish.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah, now that's fucking disturbing.
yeah, it is. But to continue on from it talking about what if Miles Morales Thor and Ghetto Asgard, making it look like the hood made Miles say sentences like "by Odin's fade" and put graffiti on Mjolnir. People obviously had a problem with that comic because it was a stereotype, especially for Miles, who isn't that kind of kid. Yeah, Miles is far from that. He is far from that, bro. He was a kid who he was basically Peter. He was a kid who loved science.
Yeah.
Was him. I think they made him like basketball later. I don't know much about him, bro. I don't. He is a literal straight A student who likes to draw and can be a bit awkward. And yet, that was how they made his what if as Thor. Yeah, exactly. That's not all, though. Besides the black male hero being named Captain Durag, the sidekick is named Snow Bunny. Oh my, Snow Bunny. Of all the sidekicks of all the sidekicks they could have given him, they gave the black superhero the sidekick named Snow Bunny. This is calculated, bro. This is on purpose. This is on purpose. And the bro, it's not. Why is this not satire? They pitched this to
Bro,
somebody
we
as a
already got
serious. They were
this is
serious,
perfect. We already got an arch nemesis for Snow Bunny. Put him up against Bad Bunny. Call it Battle of the Bunnies.
bruh. They were serious with this, dog. Like, for some context, Snow Bunny in slang is a white woman who is romantically or sexually attracted to black men. That has become the most popular definition of the term. The phrase "Snow Bunny mind control," bro. If this character has telekinetic powers and mind control, bro, I'm gonna be sick. The phrase "Snow Bunny mind control" alludes to this because it means an attractive white woman who has power over black men. In fact, in Marvel Rivals, many characters use the term incorrectly, but use it for Emma Frost, who is objectively one of the more attractive female characters who happens to be a blonde haired, blue eyed white woman. They say she uses Snow Bunny mind control, but her because her ult attracts you to her. In fact, when T'Challa back in season 2 of the game said he wanted to dance with Emma at the Hellfire Gala, people said he was under Snow Bunny mind control. Overall, it's crazy that they thought it was a good idea to have a black superhero named Captain Durag and his sidekick be named Snow Bunny. Bro, they're showing this show to kids. Bro, they're showing this show to kids. They're showing this show to kids and they're using terms like Snow Bunny. What are they doing?
Fucking up a whole generation of kids again.
Anyway, it's as if they were feeding into the stereotype. Might as well finish it off by giving him a villain who is a white man named Dr. Colonizer with his black female assistant, Mistress Bonnet. Jesus. What to think of this character? Honestly, they could keep the durag as the cape, but at least change the name of him and his sidekick. Nah, bro. No, get rid of the durag, bro. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of it.
Just get rid of the whole fucking thing entirely. Don't
Just
even entertain
just
thought of
make
rewriting the show. Just dump it.
just make just make a black superhero, bro. And by the way, not every superhero needs to have a sidekick. They don't. Just make it. Oh my god.
Oh man, this is so fucking
Honestly,
funny.
honestly, they could keep the durag as the cape, but at least change the name of him and his sidekick. It's on the nose, it's disrespectful, and people are still in shock that in Black History Month, Disney will release a black superhero named Captain Durag. As someone who has created characters for years and teaches others how to create characters for novels, shows, games, and comics, it's insulting that this is what they came up with. Black representation is important. I mean,
No, it's not. No, it's nah, none, nah.
here's the thing about that statement. Like I just, I don't know. It's weird because to say black representation is important is to overemphasize. Like that thought is indicative of you prioritizing representation over the story you're trying to tell.
That statement is basically the Trojan horse of how we got here in the first place.
Yeah, it's the Trojan horse for tokenism. Instead of just writing characters, based on circumstance, based on region, like they start from the conclusion and reverse engineer the fucking pieces they need to get there is just weird.
Yeah, like if let's say you let's say if you wrote a black superhero, you wouldn't have that thought of, oh, I want to see more black superheroes in media. You would just be like, oh yeah, I thought it'd be cool. Or me, if I wrote like a Mexican or just Latino superhero, it'd just been like, oh yeah, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Cool part of a character.
Or I'd be writing from my own perspective. That's what I would be doing, most likely.
Or yeah, you could do that too, unless your perspective is all about dodging police officers or your
Well, I
fellow
mean,
rivals around the corner or something.
that's the thing though. As a vigilante superhero, you most likely would be dodging police, but
Yeah, but you'd be
that's
dodging
not
police
because
because
that's not because they're
you'd be
black.
dodging police after dealing with crime, not committing it.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be because they're black. It would be because they're a vigilante, which is illegal.
In Captain Durag's case, you'd have to.
Who knows?
In Captain Durag's case, he'd probably be his arch nemesis would probably be the. What was it? Why am I forgetting the name of that cop that cop in the George Floyd case? What was his name again?
Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, that would be Chauvin. As that would be Captain Durag's fucking nemesis right there.
Derek Chauvin would be. That's crazy.
Dr. Chauvin.
If I hear somebody say I can't breathe, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, bro.
That-
Anyway,
Bro, that's a scene right there. That's his power. He takes your breath away. He just sucks the air out of you. He's an airbender.
oh yeah, Peter had to deal with running from the police, and Miles didn't. I actually
You
don't
know,
know that.
funny you say that
I
because
actually don't know that for sure. I
um
was actually reading Jimbo's comment and questioning it because I don't know that for sure. Maybe that is true. I don't read his books enough to know whether or not he actually has had to deal with the cops. He most likely hasn't because of the rapport that Peter already built. You know, but yeah,
I was gonna say with Spider-Man, like the real Spider-Man, I know there was like there are times when he has to run from the police, but it's always when like a villain impersonates him or when Jameson puts out a slander piece on him that the cops believe. But for the most part, cops are, or even in the early comics, cops were pretty chill with Spider-Man once they caught on to the fact that, hey, he's just been stopping villains every week. He's been stopping
yeah, but
robberies
he's
every week.
yeah, but he had to build that
They loved
rapport.
him. They caught on. They started liking him really quickly.
They had to build that rapport because like in the early days of his career, he was always having to dodge cops and leave cards and shit behind. And during that time is when the Jameson articles were the most effective at building him up as this criminal or this like
His
menace to
menace.
society. That was the time where it was most effective because like cops were split between whether or not he was a good thing or a bad thing until later on he proved himself. Obviously, like eventually they got the idea. Risk your life enough times for a city, and they might think you're a good person. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, because I'm saying that for the most part, they like Spider-Man pretty quickly after like the second, third issue of like the earliest comics. They started liking him pretty quickly, and they flip and switch between liking him and hating him because of Jameson for the most part, or because of Mysterio or Chameleon impersonating him. That's when it's like, okay, they like him,
Venom,
and then
or
they don't
Venom.
like him, and then they like him again.
I mean, yeah, when they undo his goodwill whenever they impersonate him and do evil shit,
Yeah, yeah, and it makes sense. It makes sense.
yeah. But anyway, back to the article. Black representation is important. I have written several articles on it, but this is one of the worst ways to do so. This is almost something that racists will come up with for a black hero. It's shameful and out of touch. We tell people don't
I mean,
stereotype us, then turn around and make characters like this to represent our community. The creator of the character even stated that she made him to give us more representation. Was it a white woman?
I mean, who's to say that the person who made this character isn't inherently racist themselves?
Was it a white woman? I have to know. Was it a white woman? I have to know.
I mean, still the racism would still apply, no?
No, it would, but I have to confirm a theory. Damn it.
That's to confirm a theory.
The creator of the character even stated that she made him to give us more representation, but like I named, we have several characters with names that represent us, and none of them is Captain Durag. Well, here's the thing, though. What do you mean by represent us? Do you mean existing while black? I mean, I guess, I guess, I guess that, I guess, I guess. I don't know.
Uh,
I never needed that. I never needed you know what? Make black characters. Make any kind of character you want. I just hate that black characters specifically and other characters that aren't white have to carry this fucking cross of representation. It's fucking lame. It's lame as fuck. It's annoying. Like
is,
every time you make a black character or a character that's not white, you always have to be doing it for a cause. Like it's so fucking annoying, bro. It's like a participation trophy.
yeah,
Like
it's worthless.
why can't characters not why can't non-white characters just exist and people just enjoy them without making it about some sort of like stance? Representation, like that is clearly a politically charged term. Like I don't give a fuck about representation. I don't. Is the character cool or not?
That's what happens. That's what happens when a company is controlled by politically charged propagandists.
It's just like I don't know, man. Half of our favorite characters aren't even human beings. Like, do we really care that much about representation? It's
Or
overemphasized.
their character, or their human characters who do so much like unbelievably inhumane feats that we don't even really consider them human anymore.
Yeah, looking at you, Batman.
Yep.
But yeah, let's see. Hopefully, she learns that this was not the character to make because Disney has already done damage control trying to erase all and any clips of Captain Durag. But like everyone knows, the internet doesn't forget. Yeah, they're not living that one down, buddy. All right, so now we've covered the topic of Captain Durag, and we never have to talk about it again. Thank God. What a
Captain
what
Durag.
a fucking train wreck of a character, bro. What were they thinking? The most the most brain dead and out of touch shit I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Oh man.
I just
Thank you for bringing this topic up. I got a good laugh out of it.
you're welcome. It's indicative of the times, bro. Politically charged everything, bro. It's just so stupid. Nothing can be done in good faith. Nothing can be done just like organically. It's just so whack, bro.
I mean, it's because these people just themselves don't have any good faith to begin with. They're not interested in restoring order. They're trying to how to say not join the club of the current thing, I guess. I guess you could say that in a way.
It's virtue signaling, is what it is. That's
Yeah,
what they're
virtue
doing.
signaling. And they're still trying to they still think they're living on that virtue signal bandwagon from 2016, even when everyone's already moved the fuck on from it.
What are they? What do they stand to gain from it? You know, like I just like on a personal level, like
Brown,
we know that like we know about the Black Rock and all of that. I'm talking about the individual creators. Like, what do they stand to gain from this shit? Why haven't they caught on that it's not going to work? That it's actually the opposite of what they think it is? and that it's only serving to erode so much of the goodwill of their fan bases and the historical library of entertainment from America specifically. Like how much of our goodwill as a media empire has been tarnished by these fucking activists posing as creatives. You know what I
They
mean?
probably get it's like the I was gonna say it's like I feel like it's the 5 seconds of fame type of shit all over again. Like they did it in hopes of getting a good pat on the back from whoever's in their environment who peddles this shit all nonstop. Calling Peddles this shit nonstop and acts like it's the grand revolution that they're seeking. When if anything, it's just a narcissistic circle jerk that they want.
It's pretty infuriating because there's so many masterpiece TV shows for kids that are sitting in a drawer somewhere, but because this person has the wrong opinions, they're not being given a fair shot to change the world or change the face of entertainment with that show, or start a new culture with that show. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
TV shows, movies, books, comics, etc. Just sitting somewhere in a shelf, sitting somewhere in a drawer, excuse me, or on a shelf because none of these companies or these publishing houses or these studios want to give somebody who's a wrong thinker a platform when the point of them releasing their entertainment medium isn't even for the sake of politics, it's for the sake of art and entertainment, which is what all of this used to be about. Like they did entire documentaries on like how much of an event going to the theater was for certain movie series, especially things like Star Wars. We had it again in our lifetime with Harry Potter and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Probably a few others too. Those are just the biggest ones I can name. When are we going to have that again?
I mean,
Where's the next cultural
we will
phenomenon?
have it again, but we're not gonna have it from mainstream companies. We have to look at the independents again, like Ripaverse and hmm, others on other indies besides Ripaverse to think of.
Where's the next cultural event or phenomenon that causes people to leave their house, dress up as their favorite characters, fill up theater seats, and make a new memory, bro? Where is that at? Can you name anything?
Hmm.
Oh my god, bro.
If we're
I
talking
mean,
about that level, the closest I can say is just the few
statistically
people who call.
speaking, dude, statistically speaking, it should have happened again already. But the numbers are being
Hmm.
fudged, clearly, because of
That's what
these
I'm thinking
fucking.
is just
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the closest I could think of was just fans who dressed up as characters from Eric July's Rippaverse because at MegaCon because I think from what I've seen, MegaCon's probably the only place that's hosting like real indie creators on a big stage. Because movie theaters, most of that stuff's like overly saturated and overpacked by Disney, WB shit products
What do you
that
mean
you'd
by
be
that?
hard pressed to you'd be hard pressed to save a spot for yourself and what creation you want to make for yourself there. So that's already a tough sell. Mm.
Dude,
One of the
like,
platforms I could think of would just be YouTube because I know that's where animations like Glitch Studios do their stuff and they gained a bit of popularity.
to be fair, I named one aspect of the cultural phenomenon uh, type of culture thing. I don't have a word for it yet. But you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it. You've seen it when people wait. You've seen it from back in the day when people were waiting weekly to watch the new episode of whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? The latest
Yeah,
episode of whatever the fuck just dropped. We're gonna talk about that shit at work with our coworkers. We're gonna talk about that shit at school. We're gonna talk about it at, I don't know, at the bar, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last
yeah.
time you had that? Like, what the next Dexter, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
even Game
Like,
of Thrones.
there's been no replacements for those things. Not really. Not really. Like, even with streaming, because Game of Thrones was being streamed, like there's not really been anything to replace it for real because everything they're putting out is not in good faith. It's not shit. Even the shit that was dropping that was good, like Shogun, no one was talking about it. And you know why? Because everything that followed it, well, not followed it, everything that preceded it was just so bad, it just gassed people out. Because nobody is trying to wade through a sea of garbage for the onesies and twosies that might be a masterpiece. Can we at least
I do
get
want
the
to make a
get
note.
back to mediocre? Like God, please. Can we please can I'm not even asking for a masterpiece at this point. Can we get back to mediocre? Can we get a steady streak of mediocre for a while? We can't even achieve that, bro. Mediocre is out of reach right now. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, on the note for Game of Thrones, I know they recently did another kind of prequel spin-off series that a lot of people have actually been giving good praise. Let me see, what's the name of that show again? Let me look it up. Spin-offs. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, that's what it was. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying a lot of good things about that season, so I guess there
I
is
mean,
still
it kind of
some a
fizzled out.
little bit of value left in the IP of that, even
I
after
heard
all the
things about it before, but it fizzled out. Like damn near immediately fizzled out.
I mean, the season ended. Is like it came and it went. It's only got one season right now, so it's gonna have to you're gonna have to take a couple of minutes for the next season to come, and then for it to
A couple of minutes.
either shit the
Damn.
bed or come back and raise like good feedback before it goes away again. It's like a roller coaster with them.
Well, I guess it's fitting that we brought up TV shows because the next topic we're going to discuss, which I don't have any articles for anything we're talking about tonight, unfortunately. But I mean, we can make well enough conversation with comment sections and I guess Reddit posts, which I
Reddit?
yeah exactly. But anyway, yeah. So this next one is going to be coming from Twitter. They link a Reddit post, but it's going to be coming from Twitter. Right. So this is what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be the comments that were made about the latest Atla show. Apparently, it's going to be called Aang the Last Airbender. The casting director, uh, the casting director basically said that they're not casting a lot of the original voice actors because they want the the voice actor to match the ethnicity of the characters, which is lame as fuck. This is what I'm talking about. Activism.
Can I say something? You say most of the original voice cast, but from what I've heard, none of them are back. From
None
what
of
I've
them.
heard.
Well, shit, I was being generous. None of them are coming back. That's stupid.
Well, I mean, just to kind of give I mean, because I'm to give a slight spoil or update to this. Oh, apparently someone has leaked because it's not a show, it's a movie. This shit. Someone has apparently leaked the script and basically the entire movie already on Twitter.
What, bruh?
And
You might want to
needless to say,
drop that in my DMs. Drop that in. We need to. That's breaking news right there to me anyway. That's breaking news to me. Drop that in the DMs. I'm trying to. Let's see if we can go through it.
I was gonna say I do have a source that sent me the like links to the actual movie itself.
Listen, bro.
But in terms of like Twitter posts and things like that, so far I just got one clip,
You're talking
like
too
one or two
much.
clips.
I need to see the script.
Let me see, let me see, let me see.
Jimbo, I'm just seeing this comment by the way. Jimbo, they're never making Blade 4, bro. They're not. The actor that they chose to play Blade walked out of the filming because they didn't know what the fuck they wanted. Like, this is supposed to be a movie about Blade, but for some reason you're trying to replace him with like four women, and it was weird. It was just weird. It was weird. It was weird as fuck. I don't know what they were doing.
They wanted to replace him with four women, sideline him from his own thing, his own
Yes,
movie.
they wanted to
So we waited
sideline the
years.
male character from their own movie slash own show slash like they've done with so many others.
Yeah, I was gonna say basically give him the Geralt treatment from the Netflix show.
Bro, Geralt, Shira, Geralt, He-Man, Superman. I think no, I don't know about Superman. I think I heard something about him being sidelined. Batman, they did it to Batman. Bro,
I mean,
this is on
Superman
purpose. They
got
did it to
sidelined.
Mario, by the way. If you haven't seen the new Super Mario movie, Peach is the main character again. Oh my god, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say for Superman, it wasn't that he got sidelined by women. He just got sidelined by just other characters entirely.
What's wrong? What do you mean?
Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific.
Oh, you're talking about the Superman movie. I was talking about My Adventures with Superman, but like I said, I don't know that for sure.
Oh, that one? I have not. I can't comment on that because
Me either. I just
I have not gone down to. I have not gone down to watch it. I don't know. I don't know
I'm
if
just
I'm willing to
passing it
do
along
that
as
for the sake of
hearsay. Like
discussion.
some, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if I'm willing to watch it for the sake of conversation or not.
I'm really not, bro.
I know
You
it's
gave
very
Superman
focused
a
on
magical
Superman and
girl
Lois,
transformation.
but not.
I don't want no
Yeah,
parts, bro.
we're talking over each
My bad.
other.
No, go ahead. That was my fault.
No, I was just saying that I know My Adventure with Superman is supposed to be mostly focused on Superman and Lois, or the r- swapped version of Lois in that little cartoon. But in terms of sidelining, I actually haven't really heard anything about that in that show. The James Gunn movie, no, definitely he got definitely sidelined in that for sure though.
I thought I thought the Lois in My Adventures of Superman was just like tan.
Compared to compared to Lois and anywhere else, no, that seemed way more than a tan.
Well, no, it's a dark tan, but I just thought she was still white but tanned. Not that it excuses anything at all, because that's not Lois. But yeah. But anyway, before we keep yapping, let me get into what the tweets actually say. Can everyone see that fine? Let me know in the chat if y'all can't see that. I'll zoom in. But it says Aang, the Last Airbender, casting director on why some of the original voice cast has been replaced for the upcoming film. Since the original show was released, there's been more emphasis on VO to match actors' ethnic slash racial background to the characters they're portraying. Which, again, who gives a shit about this? Who cares? Who cares? More more arbitrary activism to ruin your favorite show. We already love the original voice actors. We already associate them with the characters. But no, let's get rid of them because they have wrong skin. Excellent. Atla is a fictional world, but there are cultural influences for each nation slash kingdom, and we wanted to explore the talent from those groups. You know what's crazy is that they can't make up their fucking mind. One moment is race isn't important to the character. The next moment is it's a different universe. If you complain about race swaps that aren't, yeah, if you complain about race swaps, you're racist. And it's like what? Pick one. It seems like the rules change when it's inconvenient. Like when it's a white character and you change them black, you should shut up about it. But when it's a fucking black character and you change them in any way, then you know there will be hell to pay. Like it's weird. It's really weird. Like it seems like race isn't important to the character only applies for non-white characters. Cause like, what's wrong with a white person voice acting Katara, for example? Like they're being paid for their voice, not their fucking visage or their image. Like it doesn't even make any sense.
It really says a lot too, because a lot of the voice cast from Avatar, the original cartoon, are white people. Exception being the exceptions being at the time before the actor passed away, Uncle Iroh.
Duh.
And then of course you got the Bosco, who's not quite the exact race as Zuko, but close enough, given he's Asian.
That's the thing, though. I don't care. I don't care who's voice acting the character as long as the voice acting is good and I like the character. I don't give a shit. Most of the time, I don't even know who the fuck is voice acting the character. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
But
I think a lot of
it's
things about entertainment or trying to figure those things out is a lot like you know trying to get the magician to reveal their secrets, like figuring out the secret behind Magic, figuring out the secret behind WWE. I feel I notice I enjoy it a lot more when I don't know who wrote it, when I don't know who fucking voice acted. You know what I mean? Like that's just me
you know,
personally.
but the thing about that though is that yeah, we don't think about it like either at the time or even after watching something, but you can
Eventually, I
notice,
find
you
out,
can
but not
tell
initially.
when it's gone. You can tell when it's gone, and it makes you want to find who did it before and where did that person go.
Right.
Or I mean, or in the case of like with Avatar and even Spider-Man, I loved it so much that I wanted to know who was in it and how did it happen. At least that's me personally. If I love something so much, I'm willing to watch behind the scenes of it willingly. That's in a lot.
Man. Let's see what the audience reception to this is in the Twitter comment section. So the first person, King Ape 6, says this is the exact same type of thing that made people hate Korra and will make people hate the new show with the new Avatar. Avatar needs to stop destroying itself. Second comment, well, no, the OG voice actors are adults, so let them be the adult voices.
That's what I fucking thought. If you're gonna make a movie where the characters are grown up, you can just bring the fucking actors. They're all grown up by now. They
Yeah.
can do it.
This next person, RPD Nut, says then create new characters for those groups. Stop rewriting shit that doesn't need to be rewritten in the first place. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Heavily mutated flytrap. By this extent, the VA cast should be only vaguely Han Chinese, Tibetan, and Inuit. Because while though influences are present in the cartoon, there are various and obvious creative changes made from those influences. Or who gives a shit? Use the original cast. Yeah, exactly. I love how the creator tried to justify or, hand wave away the fact that, the world of Atla is fictional because
This
that's like their main argument against you whenever, they change some shit you like. It's fictional, don't worry about it. And it's just happening again in a more roundabout way.
is like it's fiction. It's fictional. Don't worry about it. Then why do you feel the need to change it in the first place if it's fictional?
Yeah, exactly. So long as they get what they want, it's perfectly fine to dismiss anyone else's concerns. because their goal has already been achieved.
You remember the last time somebody tried to bullshit their way into getting work by using race as an excuse?
Who
You know
did
what
that?
this reminds me of?
What?
ProZD. He tried to cause a whole ruckus on Twitter by saying, "Oh, Asian characters should be only voiced by Asian voice actors," ignoring the fact that most anime voice actors tend to be white people who do pretty fucking fine voicing Japanese characters.
Yeah, especially since the majority of anime characters don't even look Asian. They look fucking European.
Yeah, and just like the people making this shit movie, ProZD also got roasted online to the point that he basically dug his head under the sand, went offline, and still kept making the same bullshit excuse to try to you know, worm his way into other roles, which is one reason why I still haven't watched that Knights of Gunniverse show because I cannot fucking stand ProZD as a person.
Yeah, it's hard to
Even though
respect the crap. Yeah, it's okay. Here's the thing, right? You'd probably be fine with him if he didn't try to attack the craft for everyone else. You know,
yeah,
especially since this motherfucker went on to betray his own tenets and play characters that aren't Asian, right?
yeah,
He is Asian, right?
yeah, he's Asian. ProZD's Asian. He's like
Yeah.
Korean, I think. He's Korean.
Yeah, I feel like if it was an opinion on anything else, you wouldn't care. But it's hard to take him seriously as a voice actor when you heard him disparage other voice actors for taking roles he thought that they shouldn't have. Yeah,
And
I
that's the
w- I
thing, like
wouldn't want
not
anything
only
with him in it either, to be honest.
as I say, the thing with that is that even if he had stuck to his guns on that, he would just be an idiot if he actually just stuck to voicing Asian characters.
It's
He would just be an idiot
economically
that's just
retarded.
making a debate of nothing. And the fact that he still voices characters that aren't Asian just clear telling that, oh, he was just full of shit the entire time. Bully it. He's just trying to bully voice at other potential competitors just so that he can get all the roles himself.
Pretty much, bro. Like
It,
that was always the name of the game from where I'm sitting. Because like, why else would you say that and then go on to not do exactly what the fuck you tried to ascribe to everyone else? You know what I mean?
yeah, so it's like from the get-go, either you were just stupid or you were malicious. In his case, malicious, and it just makes me wonder
Absolutely.
how much bad press he caused. How and why did he get voice work jobs at all? I don't get it.
I don't know either, man. This next one is from Digesting Discourse. The Northern Water Tribe is explicitly confirmed to be based on Venice, Italy. Why does architecture only matter when determining the ethnicity of some nations and not others? Racist casting is racist. Hopefully, the movie fails.
Oh, oh, it already is.
Bro, the reception,
You know, it's
bro, it's dying in the womb, dog.
you know what's dude, what sucks is that this is like the fourth stab in the heart adaptation now. 'Cause first you got M. Night Shyamalan, or Shitmalan as I like to call him. Then you got the net shit adaptation. Then you got Korra. Now this.
I don't know if you're joking or
Holy
not.
shit, man.
My bad. I don't know if you're joking or not, Jimbo, but no. What they were saying is the tribe architecture was based on Venice, Italy, and I actually remember. I remember some of the architecture, like the boats, the ice boats, did kind of look like gondolas.
The architecture in particular, the actual
Yeah,
ethnicities of the tribes was more based on like what was it? Not yeah, was it Native American tribes that they were basing
I
off of?
thought it was Pacific Islanders like Eskimos,
Pacific Islander.
maybe
Yeah.
Hawaiians,
Eskimos. That's what it was. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
like the Mako tsunami type people. You know that character.
Yeah. Because I know, yeah, because Fire Nation was more. Well,
They were like
my
Japan.
thought of the Fire Nation was that they were supposed to be more based off of like the Japanese Empire type of inspiration,
Yeah, they
while
they had
the Earth
very
Kingdom was supposed to be
Sengoku
more
style stuff.
Chinese.
Yeah.
And then the Air Nomads was supposed to be Tibetan, I think, based off Tibetan monks.
Yeah, Tibetan, Vietnamese, maybe. I think Tibetan, like the Tibetan monks.
No, not Vietnamese. It was Tibetan monks for the Air Nomads.
Hank Hill says, so they're going woke? Okay, so not watching it, as you shouldn't.
I mean, they did it already like three fucking times, and it's oh my god. When I actually if when I ever get around to watching this, I'm gonna rip it to pieces. I'm gonna rip it to fucking pieces. Just like with Netflix.
It's pretty bad. By the way, my bad. I'm gonna try to pay more attention to what you guys can see while I'm reading these, because I can see the entire screen. Y'all can really only see a very small portion of it because of the way the stream deck is set up. What I might do is just have the screen. I might reset this up to where uh, the background is replaced with a full screen version of what we're seeing. That might just make things easier. Um, but yeah, saxophone, then represent the cultures through writing and visuals, not by the ethnicity of the VAs, who all probably have American or British accents, anyways. See, this is the thing that's very interesting to me. Like, whenever you see posts like this, right, there's like a wellspring or a wealth of people who are in vehement disagreement of whatever change is being implemented. Yet none of these studios ever backtrack or, even better, learn and never do it in the first place. The last time we saw a studio correct a poor decision that I can think of was the fucking Sonic movies.
Yeah, basically.
Like,
Them fixing their own animation brought was the one thing that brought goodwill and trust with the audience.
yeah, didn't they apologize?
I mean, the whole fixing it was pretty much an apology. Yeah, it was pretty much an apology.
I thought they sent out a message apologizing. If not, if I'm misremembering that, that's fine. But yeah, they at
Uh,
least they at least changed what the audience did not like, which we're not seeing that anywhere else. It's just weird.
I think they might have, but I don't remember seeing the message.
Lester says, "Of course, Reddit. Where else will where else will these brainless degenerates come from?" They're aware that the okay, mm, this person's name is Carly Chirk. They're aware that the four
Yeah, we know
nations,
where it's going with that name.
yeah, they're aware that the four nations and Avatar don't exist in real life, right? I mean, they don't care. They conveniently skirt around that whenever it's in favor of your argument. When it's in favor of their argument, they use that. Whenever you complain about a race swap characters, a race swap character, you know they're fictional, right? But whenever they change some shit, oh my god, bro, it's so weird, bro. It's so weird. Moving the
It's just
goalposts.
like, hey, it's like, wait a minute, Peter Parker's white. You can't race up him. No, it's okay. It's fictional. But then you got a Asian character. Then you got an Asian character voiced by a white person. Make him Asian. Why? Well, we needed to reflect the real character. I thought they were fake. Shut up.
Exactly. Why did you change this? It's fictional. Get over it. We're gonna change this. You know it's fictional, right? And then they just malfunction.
Yeah, because then that's when it starts becoming a whole fucking race issue about like, oh, making some shit up about representation because it always goes back to that shit.
Yeah. Again, representation is overemphasized. That's basically the main theme of everything we're gonna be talking about tonight. I'm only gonna read a couple more of these comments. and then we're gonna move on to the. We're gonna talk about it briefly, and then move on to the next topic. But yeah, this next person is just a bunch of symbols in their name. The fuck does this mean? Shouldn't voice acting depend solely on talent and the ability to embody a character through voice, not on appearance? In other words, the best person for the job, which is another one that they love using, except if the person is white. Right?
Yeah.
Who asked for this? The most
Oh
important
yeah,
thing is that,
especially
huh?
I was gonna say no. I remember back then, like in the early 2000s movies, they would make that excuse a lot. It's like, well, it's not about the race; it's about whether they can act.
Which was always a
Later,
lie. It
only
was
to
a
realize
lie.
a
No one cared
decade
about that.
later they would not apply that logic for when a white man plays a black character or something like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. When you're talking about previously established properties, very few people give a fuck about whether or not the person can act more than whether or not they looked like the character that's from the source material. Like
And that's
Tobey
if they're
Maguire did
aware.
not
That's
know
if
how to
they're
play Peter.
aware of the character, or if they're aware of the mythos. Because I know a lot. This gets me back to when, yeah, because I bring up 2000s because you can tell a lot of people did not really look into, let's say, Thor, like the Thor source material, either the mythology itself or just the original Marvel comics, because
Mm-hmm.
no one said anything about Thor's Asgardian friends being like a whole mixed race group of people when in the comic and in Norse mythology they're all supposed to be white looking.
As Guardians are like northern Scandinavian.
They're
I want.
Nordic,
I
yeah, it's
think
a
it's yeah
Nordic
Nordic,
mythology.
Nordic, Nordic.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's Nordic
Viking,
mythology.
Scandinavia, that type of shit. Yeah.
Vikings, Scandinavians, Vikings, they were all white.
Yes, Valhalla was like a Viking concept.
Yeah, Valhalla is the
White
Viking
as shit.
heaven. Yeah.
Like
But
Murdoch
like
says.
you ever notice how people didn't really talk about that or call that out back when the first Thor movie came out, or no, or when when the Daredevil movie came out a long time ago, no one said anything about Black Kingpin, and it's a head scratcher for
Yeah,
me because
because it
now it just
didn't
makes me
it it didn't come across as something they did because of virtue signaling reasons. Like me and my dad complained, even though we like Michael Clark Duncan as an actor, but he's not Kingpin.
yeah, I love that guy. Rest in peace and also rest in peace. But I look back on that now and I'm thinking, why didn't we say anything about this? You know?
We didn't care. It wasn't as sensitive a topic as it is now. I mean, like I said, there were definitely people who said something, but it wasn't as big a deal because it was a one off, and it wasn't typical for them to do that. Everyone else in the Marvel films were basically depicted how they're supposed to be depicted. Mephisto, um, Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus,
Mephisto.
Bane
Oh, we talking about
from Ghost
Mephisto in
Rider.
the Ghost Rider movie,
Yeah,
or
from Ghost
just
Rider.
in general Mephisto?
From Ghost Rider. Well,
Oh,
technically, Mephisto was depicted as like an old white guy and not as a red devil.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
I feel like that's just. That was not an issue of casting. That's just missed
no,
opportunity that we never got to see
that
a
is
Ghost
missed
Rider
opportunity.
fight actual devil form Mephisto.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that one off the list because it's a bad example, then, huh? Because like Mephisto usually appears as a red devil, so let's take that one off the list. But like again, that's another one
Yeah.
off. It's another one off. Bullseye was depicted in the way he's supposed to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Plenty of villains are depicted the way that they're supposed to be depicted. That said, isn't Bane like a luchador and he's like Hispanic? Why was he a white guy? And
Yeah, for some reason, Christopher Nolan, I guess, I think Christopher Nolan did not care about Bane entirely, just at all. So he just thought of like, okay, I need a big dude to play Bane. Tom Hardy, here you go.
wow,
Even though Tom Hardy does not look anything like the character, and
he's
that's
a
saying
wrestler.
which sucks to say because I like Tom Hardy. It's just I'm Bane.
He's not. But anyway, we're talking about the
Honestly,
early two
I
thousands.
also kind of, I also don't even really feel like I don't even know if I can really even see him as Eddie Brock either. I mean, he's the size, he's got the body type for it, but even then, I'm like, or maybe I'm just so bummed out because of the Venom, the even concept of Venom movies that Tom Hardy being Venom just burned me out. Just makes me look at him a certain way.
It's crazy. Where are we? Somebody said jail. Put her in jail. Cat Dingo. M Night Shyamalan's version is genuine garbage, but I'll watch it instead because at least it's just a shitty ripoff of the show. Damn,
I cannot. Nah, you're not
way to
making me
do
watch
that.
that shit again either. I cannot watch any of it. I don't even know if I could even watch Korra again. Now that's a real fucking test.
If I can't pronounce their name, I'm just gonna read their comment. Bringing in some token Asian celebrities for the Chinese market, eh? Next one is Shutdown. Nah, the
Speaking
show's
of,
name is Shutdown. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of markets, I had one friend comment to me that so at them casting Steven Yeun as Zuko was basically just them marketing towards Invincible because
Jesus.
that one's current, which is currently run ongoing right now.
Wait a minute. Somebody has
I don't know
the.
about that, but yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. Either way, that's a terrible test.
Hang on. So okay, let's read this Reddit post. Bookkeeper OK 9677. Hello, thank you for the AMA. I have a couple questions regarding the Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. One, is there any reason why you guys decided not to bring the original cast back for the ultimate nostalgia trip? The characters' voices are just so iconic and distinct. I find it hard to really accept anyone else in their roles. Plus, promoting the movie with the original actors coming back would break the internet and truly feel like the original show is back. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't care. They don't care about that. Two, is there anything you can tease about the new movie or when we will maybe get a first look? It's just been so dead silent
We
that I won't
already
even
got them.
believe it's real until I see it. Haha. It's just my favorite franchise, so I'm very protective of it. I'm excited to see what the movie has in store, even though I'm not a fan of the recasting. I will try my hardest to be open minded. I just really wanted to
Don't
hear the
be,
original cast voicing these characters one more time for their last hurrah. We'll get to her
don't be
shit in a minute.
open-minded.
We'll get to her shit in a minute, but go ahead. Say what you want to say.
I was gonna say, don't be open-minded. If you're protective of the franchise, you would have already been looking. You would have already been preparing for how bad this was gonna be. And by the way, I did send you some stuff in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to take a look at that after the stream is over. 'Cause it's gonna
Oh,
be, because it's not really something that you could just put on like in the middle of it.
oh, okay. Yeah, this is the spoiled. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what, like it's a bit of a spoiler content. I don't know if you would even want to put a clip on the show. I wouldn't recommend it.
Nah.
'Cause then I sent you the stuff
Yeah, we'd get
in
copyright
case
struck
we
or
ever want to
something.
talk about this again.
Hello, Sepus. You are not welcome here. Anyway,
Tempest is back. Oh God, my nemesis followed me.
all right. So Murdoch, thanks for the subscription, bro. Appreciate it. So Jenny Jew AMA, right? This is the supposed casting director for this shit. Jenny Jew, AMA, original poster. I told Mike and Brian that I understood how important it was to get this right for them and for the fans because I'm a fan too. Of course you are. Also, my favorite IP. Bro, don't they all say that?
Man,
Every last one of them
everyone.
says that shit. But they
That's
don't
what
do.
I've been thinking. Like,
They always say that, but they never do anything in line with what a fan would do. Ever.
that's exactly what I've been thinking. I've been thinking that ever since Insomniac and Spider-Verse 2. Everyone, whether it's the creators or the fan base or like people watching,
They're always
they
the
all
same.
say they love it. They all say they're fans. but protect they don't protect or they don't act in favor of what is right for the IP or for what is right for the character.
They absolutely
In this case, they're not acting in good faith to even cast the same voice actors that everyone knows and loves. Which brings me to another question.
yeah.
Well, I do like that people are, making raising a discussion of, hey, why can't we just recast the original voice actors for Avatar?
Yeah.
How come we never get those kind of questions for like Marvel and DC projects though? Like I don't ever see people ask like, hey, why isn't Josh Keaton or Chris Daniel Barnes back to play Spider-Man in Marvel Rivals or for Insomniac or for insert Spider-Man show coming up?
Wait, you mean the voice actors from shows about superheroes?
Yeah, like voice actors who played characters like yeah, who played popular characters like Kevin Conroy for Batman before he passed,
Bro, it's
or Tim
because
Daly who did Superman in the '90s cartoon. Like
it's
when they're not
because
casted for other DC projects, I don't see people, talk about that. Is it just because they accept that it's different projects and therefore they don't need to apply the same focus on the original voice actors, or
no, it's because contrary to popular belief, comics are still niche. Superhero media outside of the movies is still very niche. That's why. And very few people care about it. The people who do care are in the minority. That's why.
let's see,
Genuinely.
Jimbo says they wanted Josh back for Insomniac Spider-Man. I never heard anyone talk about that. It's weird. Josh Keaton gets every time he gets a Marvel job since Spectacular or since Edge of Time, he's been just casted as anyone else but Spider-Man in a Spider-Man cartoon, and it throws me the fuck off every time. Like you had Josh Keaton play Electro and Insomniac. I'm thinking, why the fuck isn't he? Why didn't you just have him play Spider-Man? He's right there. You know he wants the job now.
They pushed him out of the way and then gave him a runner-up role because they knew he wanted to be the character, but they just decided not to. That being said, though, the voice actor on Spider-Man in the Insomniac verse, he sounds very similar to other Spider-Man characters. So
Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal's good. I mean, I don't respect him that much outside of the voice work, but yeah, he is good. I don't want to put him down on for his talent,
yeah,
but it's just the fact that, people are very protective of Avatar when even to the point of, hey, we demand the voice actors back, but I don't see them applying it to Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, just or the superhero genre. Unless it's like very specific, like unless it's like a very specific media like uh maybe Spawn or Hellboy or something. Even then I don't think it would, you know, how to say, band together to demand that. Although it is pretty nice that Keith David still gets to be Spawn anytime he makes an appearance.
yep, it's a niche within a niche, bro. The reason why they do that for Spawn is because nobody, bro, you can't cast nobody else for that character ever again, bro. I'm sorry, you can't, bro. That's Keith David shit. That's his shit, bro. It's like J. Jonah Jameson or Iron Man. That's his shit. Nobody else.
Okay,
I
well,
mean, no one's bro. It's nobody else shit, bro. You will always think of the person
okay
who was
for
there before. Never try to fill a great man's shoes. Go ahead.
I mean, for Jameson, they still keep putting in other voice actors for what any other Marvel project instead of just bringing back J.K. Simmons. But at least for that, I'm just gonna assume that any studio doing a Spider-Man project, just cannot afford J.K. Simmons. I'm guessing.
I
Even though
mean,
I would have loved, man, I wanted so badly for at least Jameson, like J.K. Simmons to be Jameson and Insomniac. That would have been perfect.
the point I was making is that even if they were to cast somebody else as Spawn, bro, we wouldn't.
Yeah, it would
We would
not be
literally be
anywhere
like, yo,
good
yeah,
as
yeah. Where's Keith David at? Where's he at? I don't know who this guy is. You know, no disrespect. Where's Keith David at? Who the fuck is this? JK costs a lot of money. I bet he does. I bet he fucking does. That Amazon money, he must be eating good off that Amazon money. As trash as that show is.
oh god.
But yeah,
Probably. I hope so because goddamn that show was
I'm gonna make this the last comment because we've been talking a lot, and we should move on to the next topic soon. But anyway, we left off on the part where she says, "I'm a fan too. Also, my favorite IP." Like, no, the fuck. All of you are liars when you say that, bro. Remember
liar.
fucking Andy Shankar, whatever his fucking name is, Artie Andy. I forgot his name. A
It's
Shankar.
it's Andy Shidkar, that's his name.
Yeah, him, whatever. Yeah, liar. Anyway, since the original show was released, there's been more complaints in VO. What the fuck is VO?
Voiceover.
Whatever. Since the original show was released, there's been more emphasis in VO to match actors' ethnic, racial background to the characters they're portraying. Atla is a fictional world, but there are cultural influences from each nation slash kingdom, and we wanted to explore the talent from those groups. I can't say much more about the film, except that I'm really proud of this cast, and I hope the other fans keep an open mind to this new iteration of our beloved characters. My negative one comments.
Fuck. Oh.
Yeah, there's two comments for
Minus
the negative
one.
ones.
Oh, you know, if it wasn't for the Reddit mods, that Reddit section would have been filled with roast. It would have been filled with callouts against this shit. Goddamn Reddit mods that deprived us of good content.
All right, since this is literally the final comment, I guess I'll read one more. Aladdin 3000. If you're going to do this, then you have to do it right. So Katara and Sokka are going to be played by people who are different races when they should be played by Asians with dark skin, not Native Americans who are vaguely related to Asians. I mean, again, they don't care about that. They don't give a shit. They don't care. I'm still just shit. I don't even know how I feel about it anymore. I mean, it's par for the course at this point. They just deliberately go against the
It's
wishes
par
of
for the
longtime fans in the name of activism, Marxism, whatever new chip update, firmware update. These NPCs want to be following that week, bro. It's just annoying. Go ahead.
yeah. It's just I mean, for me, it hurts, but in the sense of oh my God, we're doing this shit again, kind of hurt. Because again, isn't the fourth, maybe fifth time, I think, if we're gonna count the sequel comics from of Avatar: Last Airbender. Because I know, because I read the first couple of them, and man, they're just bad. Not
Oh
race
my
swapping
god,
bad, but just
Lord. All right. So this next topic is gonna be. This next one isn't an article. It's a YouTube video. It's about 2 minutes. Um, if you, I'm gonna be shouting out a creator since I'm using their content from their channel. But yeah, another side effect of the times we're in, where representation and your political beliefs matter more than the art and entertainment. We have creators engaging in one-sided beef against other creators who are just doing their own fucking thing, and again, it's annoying because once again, somebody makes something that is actually, for this one, I actually don't know if it's good or not, but apparently it sells well and it's doing well and it's very successful. You have somebody who's making good work that people are enjoying, and you have somebody else who is just shitting on them for no reason because they have political beliefs that don't align with the person who's actually doing uh, the shitting on. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Like I mean, that's been going around for a while, but this is the latest take on it. This is like the most recent time it's happened, so I decided to put it in the segments for tonight because again, it's topical and it's relevant to everything that's going on when it comes to entertainment and everything that's coming out. So here we go. Let me go ahead and take down the screen. This is going to be coming from Eric July. You can look him up on YouTube. I'm sure like most of y'all who are here already know who he is, but you know if you haven't subscribed already, I recommend going and check out his
Yeah,
channel.
check him out. He's based.
But yeah, anyway, let's check out this fucking train wreck because I don't have the Twitter posts or anything, so I'm just gonna talk about it through him. Let's listen.
So apparently, a black YouTuber is openly boycotting Godhood Comics, which is another company owned by a black creator. Now, while I don't want to speak too much about the ins and outs of the supposed boycott, I want to give you some insight into what's actually happening here because this is a pattern. Support black businesses has always had an asterisk. The unspoken condition is that you align
It's
ideologically
weird. It's
and
kind
politically.
of double voicing on the back end, I think. Can you volume it up? See if it sounds like it's doubling?
Where is it playing from? Hold on.
If you don't, you're not just
Yeah,
Oh, I see what it's
There's an
doing.
echo on
I
Earth
see.
July.
I see what it's doing. I see what it's doing. Uh, I think I'm gonna have to stop. I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. Yeah, I don't want it to echo because I think what's happening is that since I'm streaming it from you for you, it's playing it again. So I'm gonna stop streaming it or at least mute the stream and see if that works.
Hmm? But what happened?
I stopped streaming for you on the back end to see if it stops echoing.
Okay. Is it showing? Okay, it's showing on the YouTube side. Okay.
Yeah, it's showing on the YouTube side.
unsupported. You're going to be targeted. They will go harder at you than they would anyone else.
Let me actually pull it back so that he makes his point again. Restart the video. Fuck it.
So apparently, a black YouTuber is openly boycotting Godhood Comics, which is another company owned by a black creator.
It still
Now,
sounds double for
while I
me.
don't want to speak too much about the ins
What?
I changed the channel that it was playing from. Let's try it now.
and outs of the supposed boycott, I want to give you some insight into what's actually happening here because this is a pattern. Support black businesses has always had an asterisk. The unspoken condition is that you align ideologically and politically. If you don't, you're not just unsupported. You're going to be targeted. They will go harder at you than they would anyone else. Delegitimization comes with the tactic. It's not apathy. It's amazing how progressives have been able.
What the hell? Why is it doing that? Hang on. You sure? Maybe it's monitoring on the back end. I So annoying. Hang on. I'm gonna have to find out what the hell that is later because it's pretty damn irritating. Let's try it now.
To control this conversation while being completely inconsistent. They don't
Is
judge
that
you
good?
on the quality of your work. The moment they find you don't align with them, your work magically becomes the worst thing ever. Not because they evaluated it honestly, but because giving you credit will legitimize you and they can't have that.
What the
And I
fuck?
need people to understand that this has nothing to do
Hey,
with blackness. This is about modern progressivism. But somehow they've successfully conflated the two. So now, if you're black and you hold positions like, say, minors should not be medically transitioned with regards to their gender, somehow that became a black issue. And now you're a self hating conservative trying to appease whites, even
we're
if
gonna
you're
have to
not a
get through this, and I'm
conservative.
gonna have to figure it out
That's the
later.
game. They've taken an entire political framework and wielded it onto black identity so that any deviation from their platform is treated as a deviation from color. I'm black. I'm married to a black woman. My child is therefore black. I'm in a functional, loving black relationship. And I built a company that has made millions of dollars off original black characters. But none of that matters to these people because I don't think the way that they want me to think. And in their minds, there's only one way to be black.
Yeah, so that's literally the entire beef with it. Like, first of all, um, the first time I heard about Blurred going on his tear, with, I mean, besides Rippa debating him years ago, Comics Explained said something about not wanting to cover Milestone Comics because he didn't want to be like a mouthpiece for black issues. And Blurred Without Fear, who is a raging fucking leftist, took issue with that and called Comics Explained all sorts of fucking racial slurs and not really black and you hate black people and all that other goofy ass shit. And the funny thing is, Comics Explained and Blur Without Fear are of the same political leaning, which led to Comics Explained needing to make a video explaining himself. Why the fuck did he do that? And immediately, coming out as a non-Trump supporter and all of this shit. It's just stupid. It's dumb. And the people didn't even the people that didn't like him already didn't even accept his apology. That's why it was stupid. That's the other thing. I don't care what political leaning. I never cared what political leaning Comics Explained was. I don't give a shit. I went there for what the fuck the channel is called. Not for his race, which I didn't know that either, or his fucking political leaning. It's all just very idiotic to me. So anyway, what he has to do with this story, he came out saying that he's not gonna cover the Rippaverse. I have no idea why he said it. I just heard that he covered it, and Rippa has a video explaining why he said it and his reaction to the video and everything. I haven't watched that either because again, I don't really care. I don't give a shit. He can choose to not cover whatever the fuck he wants, but the reason why I'm even talking about it is in the first place is because it's all relevant to the same shit we've been seeing throughout these topics for tonight. Like, activism is the lens that we've been looking through everything instead of again focusing on the arts and the entertainments. Right? Your work is now only legitimate if you're of a certain political leaning, and we can only view art and entertainment through the lens of the mainstream correct political leaning, and it's just tiresome. This is where we are, bro. Go ahead. Did you have something to say? shit. Is our audio coming in on the back end? It is? No, I mean on the stream. Oh my god, I was so I got so fucking scared, bro. Oh, okay, okay, audio's good. I was like, what the? Oh my god, bro! I didn't see the sound bars moving, bro. Oh shit, Jimbo says he can hear me but not Soups. Damn it, that's exactly that's what I needed to hear. Hold on. He doesn't hear you right now, and yeah, he doesn't hear you. Hang on. Let me fix that. Say something now.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming in.
Okay, I heard myself. I heard myself talking just now. Yeah, I have to be coming through now.
Okay, good, 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 good. By the way, I think I found the issue with the double video thing. The OBS browser page has its own sound deck. I need to turn that all the way down to 0 at all times whenever we're doing video segments. So yeah, figure that out. Anyway, we're both back. What we were, damn it, fuck. I don't even know if y'all heard my whole explanation about Comics Explained and what he has to do with this, because nobody said anything the entire time I was talking. Fuck.
Wait, I think they heard you. I think it's me that they didn't hear.
Jimbo, did you hear me give the spiel about Comics Explained? Because Soups was just getting in the way he was saying, so I stopped him at the right time.
We really need a more active audience.
I'm glad y'all are here though. Whoever's here, I really am. Appreciate y'all. But
Yes, yes, we appreciate it. Just comment more frequently so we can know that we're not just screaming into the wind, screaming into the nothing.
yeah, to
Oh, yeah.
to start your point again, Soups. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, starting off, the tweets that Comics Explained made about not reviewing the Rippaverse, the biggest one he mentioned was he just doesn't really look into indie comics because it's like a whole how to say, it's a whole other can of worms, basically just drifting away from what he usually does, and
Yeah,
he
it's
typically doesn't
decentralized.
like to do that. So, it's just that's preference for him, and even Eric July made a note of that in his response video to him. So no bad faith thing going on there as far as I know.
I mean,
But in
Comics
terms of the
Explained doesn't strike me as a guy who operates in that sort of bad faith. I mean, he really doesn't. He never has. Like I've never, like I said, I never knew his political leaning from his fucking videos or his race because I never gave a shit. Well, one, I couldn't tell. Two, I never gave a shit. I never cared. Literally, him being black was a surprise to me. Like,
I mean, I'm surprised you say that because I remember it was briefly mentioned or shown, like, when the first guy who founded Comics Explained, when he passed away, um this new this guy made himself known by face, and he was going to be the one taking over Comics Explained, as he was a friend who, you know, inherited the spot from the first man who started Comics Explained, which,
who the hell
rest
is
in
the
peace to
first
the
guy?
first man who started Comics Explained, because yeah, he died way too soon.
Who the hell is the first guy?
Man, you
Comic
really have not kept up
Historian
with
was the
Comics
dude who
Explained.
passed away. Okay, yeah, yeah, I was right. I was like,
Wait,
not
Comics
right.
it was Wait, really?
Go ahead.
Are you sure? What?
That's what
Am
Jimbo
I
just said. Comic Historian passed away, not
It was Comic Store? I thought it was Comic Explained. Oh
bro.
shit.
He sounds like he
Oh
sounds the
man,
same.
oh man, okay. Forget what I said. I might be stupid. I think I'm stupid.
You're not stupid. You just made a whoopsie.
I mean, a whoopsie online could be a very big whoopsie.
That is true.
Okay, well, thankfully we have an audience to hold my ass accountable.
Shout out to y'all. I tell people all the time, hey,
No,
if I'm
but
talking out of my ass, just let me know.
wait, but the second thing I was trying to get into with uh, how do you say it? Turtle have no fear?
The
Myrtle have no fear?
blurred without
The blur
fear.
have no fear. Blur without
Blurred,
fear, okay.
blurred without fear. It just means black nerd without fear. It's stupid.
He sounds very fearful to me with how he fucking reacted. Um,
I don't know, man.
I think that whole situation with them, that whole drama there was another case of leftists really not liking each other as much as not liking each other. If no one hates a leftist more than other leftists apparently.
They're always
Comic
eating
Explained was
their
not
own,
being
dude.
virtuous enough by his standards. And you know
That's
damn well he does not hold himself up to.
that's literally what it was, man. It was just like you don't hold the same political views as me because again, there's only one way to be black, like Ripper said. It doesn't
And
because you have black parents. It doesn't count because you don't have the same opinion that they believe black people are supposed to have. It's all very lame shit, bro. It's so stupid.
I want to say in speaking, I feel I guess in speaking in more in defense of Comics Explained why he felt he need to explain himself. I think it's just because
I see what you did there.
you can tell he grew up or he's around a lot of other leftists. Like
I
he's
can't
not
tell that.
like
I can't say that. I don't
himself.
know that.
He is not a very political guy, but he probably just his social circle is probably just a bunch of leftists who just made that the norm for him, and he probably being the poor sap, he felt he got probably got guilt tripped into needing to explain himself. And he's probably just not aware of how these people actually operate.
I
And
mean,
the
yeah,
disingenuous.
yeah. Oh, and I was saying, yeah, to Jimbo's comment. As far as what you're saying, I mean, you know, I think I can see where you're coming from with that opinion, but I'm more in line with what Jimbo said with comics explained, just seeming like a normal dude. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he has like leftist views, but generally,
Yeah,
like
no, that's
his politics seem firmly separate from the shit he enjoys. Which, yeah, I can get
no, but
down
I'm
with that.
saying
Go ahead.
no, like I agree with what Jimbo's saying. He's an average dude. But I'm saying the reason he probably has like leftist opinions is because of the social circles he's in or whatever news media he watches.
Maybe.
But he is just an average dude who probably has no idea of how these people actually operate. So he did probably feel guilt trip or that he owed it to explain himself or reiterate his position because hey, not only his personal circle but also his audience
Hmm.
was also probably a bunch of leftists started turning against him. So it was like a whole
A
whoa
bunch of
kind of
people
deal.
in
Like
his. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think that those people who like took issue with him claimed to be a part of his audience. I don't believe the majority of those people were ever a part of his audience because that's never the case. The majority of the comments I saw were like shocked. They're like, "Oh, first of all, I never knew that there was a drama. Second of all, I never knew you were black. Third of all, I never cared because I came to your channel to hear you explain comics." That's what I get from the majority of people whose comics I've read under his explanation video, by the way. And a bunch
really,
of other people going, "Why did you even make this video? Like you didn't have to explain yourself. That's what they wanted. They're not going to accept your apology." So yeah.
Okay, so then I was wrong about the audience part then. I'm guessing it's more so he felt the pressure from again blurred without fear, and I'm
People
still
were
gonna
getting on his
say
ass. He felt
probably
the
the
need to make a video.
official circle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The people getting on his ass was either other content creators like Blur Without Fear or his like personal circles.
Yeah. Regardless, I hate that
Yeah,
he was put in a position to where he felt like he needed to do that. I hate that. It's disgusting. Let people have their personal opinions. Stupid.
yeah, I agree. It is disgusting.
But anyway, to round off our topics for tonight, uh, we're gonna talk about some more anime ish. Well, I can't even say more anime because Atlas not an anime. We're gonna talk about more animation news dealing with anime, and again through the lens of activism, what's going on, and how people's political views get shoehorned into the media, especially when it comes to you know tomboy or cross dressing or femboy type characters like Bridget from Guilty Gear is like the most recent example before this.
I think we should also can factor in just plain ambiguously gendered characters.
Yeah. They're automatically assumed to be trans coded, just like any vaguely brown character is automatically assumed to be black coded. While most of the characters that actually have those identities are basically ignored in favor of characters who don't have that confirmed at all. But anyway, that's a different discussion. Let's hear about what the latest disappointment is when it comes to leftists not getting what they want from their media. All right, let me take down the screen. Oh, yeah, and this next video, this is not an article either. I was looking for an article. They didn't make one. This one is going to be from Hero Hey. Some of y'all might be familiar with him. Anyway, this was a pretty good video covering the topic of a JJK character. The modern audience just lost their minds over this.
3 months ago on the subreddit JJK,
I mean, they
a
modern
redditor
audience
says,
losing their
"Reminder
minds over a lot
that
of shit
Kirita
pretty
isn't a
easily."
femboy. She's
Yeah.
a trans femme." Going on to get 2,000 upvotes. Redditor saying, "Seen way too many people disrespecting her in TikTok comment section. And since she'll appear in season 3, I would love to remind y'all that she's heavily implied to be trans femme." Whoa, hold on a second. What's this? A tweet from yesterday with 1 million views that says, "Kirita's gender has been officially confirmed." Image included reading Hoshi Kirita's basic information profile. Gender, male. The article comes from information by the official anime committee, overseen by Gege, the author. Similarly, this post talks about how this information
It's a
came from the
man.
JJK anime production committee before the airing of JJK season 3, and that yes, it bears
I'm
the
only
approval
gonna
of
play
Gege Akatami, the writer of
about 2 minutes of
JJK,
this.
where this translation says, "Kirita is a third-year student at Jujutsu Technical College. Just like Akari, he hangs out with Akari, who is suspended, and it's clear that they have a close relationship. Although he looks like a Gyaru, he is actually male." Another translation detail reading, "Kirita has a genderless charm, so there were different predictions swirling among fans."
No, the character doesn't. I hate when people say shit like this. The character has a genderless charm. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's a character that
It's
looks like a
probably
chick.
he acted very girly.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
not
the sad thing.
genderless charm.
Genderless charm, no. Genderless charm is a stupid phrase, but the gender confusion is what I get. The gender confusion I get, but genderless charm is bullshit.
Yep, in the words of Admiral Akbar, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Like, stop this, bro. Genderless charm. Get the fuck out of here. It's not even. You know what's
Greg made
crazy? It's not even really androgynous. Wait, andro. Fuck. What does that word mean? Shit. Oh, misandrous. Like manly, androgynous. fuck, I forgot. I'm sorry, I got caught up in the etymology. I done forgot what the fuck the word androgynous means behind getting caught up in the fucking the etymology.
We're just all slipping up today, aren't we?
No. I knew what the word meant when I used it, and then I was like, damn, andro. Doesn't that mean like man or something? Anyway, let me look. Let me look it up. Androgynous, partly male and partly female in appearance of indeterminate sex. Yeah, it is androgynous. Yeah, but the etymology confused the shit out of me because whatever. Androgynous, man like. I don't know.
You mean it is ma'am like? It is ma'am.
Androgyne. Man. Okay. Ander is man. Gun is woman. Okay. Androgyne. Oh, I'm stupid as shit. Gyne. The other part. The gyno. Yeah. Androgyne. Okay. Yeah. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Andro and then gyno. Yeah. Okay. My bad. Anyway, androgynous. Yes. That's correct.
No one's gonna blame you for confusing that too in our audience because that shit sounds way too close.
Well, no. I like when I heard androgynous, I pretty much only landed on the andro part, which and completely forgot about the gyno part, which is the woman part, gynocentric, androcentric. Yeah, androgyne, man, woman, lady, man, whatever. Yeah, that the word makes sense when you're not a dumbass. Okay, moving on. Yes, it is androgynous. It should have been what should have been put here is Kidara has a androgynous charm. That would make sense, not genderless. Anyway,
you know what you just reminded me of when you said woman part just now?
Yeah. What? Who?
You remember? I don't know if anyone has watched Longest Yard, but when Chris Rock says, "Well, you might want to take a look at the beautiful part and on the woman part."
That would be.
Yeah, anyone who's seen that movie knows what I'm talking about.
I can't remember the movie. I'm sorry, but anyway, it's pretty funny. The way you delivered it was funny.
It's how he delivered it.
If his voice actor was going to be male or female. Some people are not happy about this. This tweet getting 4,700 likes that says, if you think Kira is a man, block me right now. The angry person added, femboys genuinely fight tooth and nail to erase trans characters, as if you don't get two super popular characters already being installed from Felix Argyle.
This is
Screw off with your erasure. All right, buddy. First of all, having two popular characters doesn't mean you get to erase all the other femboy characters. Like, that's not how that works. That's literally irrelevant. And this person's really trying to argue that femboys are erasing trans characters. It's literally the opposite. Almost every time we get a femboy character, the modern audience is like,
Poison
that has to be a trans woman.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite. Poison from Street Fighter is a female, has always been female. Female since the inception of the character. Oh, she's trans. No, it's a woman. It's always been.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard that, I was confused because.
Go ahead.
I was saying with Poison, I remember when I first heard that, I was confused because I was like, wait, but
people were trying to say that the character's trans and they're not.
Where did did they take a look in the under? Like, how did they figure that out?
I mean, I don't know why they wanted the character to be trans. I don't know. But the confusion came from, going from the arcade version where, there was these two characters, Roxy and Poison, who were, female biker girls. And, you would fight them. And whenever you picked them up, like their shirt would like come up and obviously you'd see breasts, right? And like, that wasn't even the worst part of it. The reason why it ended up getting censored for the home version where they changed them into dudes is because feminists got mad that you were beating up women, even though the women beat up men too. which is fucking stupid. Oh, and by the way, there's already been games where women get beat up. There were already games out like that, but for some reason, Capcom, like the bitches they are, caved and made those two characters male for the fucking home release. And for some fucking reason, due to a mistranslation of some kind, the word new half came up, and new half in Japanese is supposed to mean like trans, even though the creator themselves in interviews and in official character bios has confirmed that Poison is female. And now, the usual suspects just kind of took it and ran with it.
To answer Jimbo's question, difference is a femboy is still very much a guy. He's just pretty much either dressing girly or just kind of looks girly, but he's still very much a guy.
A trans
Trans
person
person is
actually
someone.
transitions.
Trans person does not really. Trans person is the one dancing in between or stuck in the middle point of actually transitioning into the other gender. Femboy is not actually trying to change his gender, at least as far as or at least that's what I've heard.
They're not, bro.
They just,
They're.
they're
I
just,
mean,
they're just pretty much.
continue.
I was gonna say, I mean, they're either pretty much just cross-dressing or they're just styled like a like in a kind of girlish way, like having like pretty like hair, or having like off roundish face, or shit like that. Shit like you would expect to see on a girl, minus breasts and bottom, the bottom area.
OD. But yeah, the way it's supposed to work is that a trans person is a person who actually transitions, as in they actually go through with the transitioning surgery. Otherwise,
Yeah, yeah.
otherwise they would be okay. Well, here's the confusion with the word trans, right? Prior to now, they used to be called transvestites, which for some reason is an offensive term, even though it means a change of clothes, to change one's vestments. And that will refer to people who are of one sex or gender that wore the clothing of the opposite sex slash gender. That's what that word meant. But now, trans means transsexual. So there's two definitions of the word trans. The one we're talking about is transsexual. Femboys are not transsexuals, but they are transvestites technically, even though we just call them
Kinda, yeah.
femboys.
I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, because transvestites, by your definition, basically just changed into cross-dressing.
Well, initially transvestite, which is cross dresser,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the word transvestite basically just became cross-dressing
yeah,
because it's just someone dressing up like the other sex.
yeah. Yeah, the difference is supposed to be, a trans person is actually a transsexual who goes through with the surgery, and a femboy is just a guy who has autogynephilia and likes to dress up as a girl.
Now that's a word you don't hear very often. Gynophilia.
Autogynephilia. They like to see themselves dressed up as a girl, or see other people dressed up, or other men dressed up as girls.
Oh,
Actually,
that's
no.
weird.
Auto, like by yourself, like autonomous. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. What the fuck?
Now it has nothing to do with other people. They like seeing themselves dressed up as women. They like seeing themselves depicted as a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, to Hirohe's point, it's the exact opposite. Femboys and tomboys are being erased by the usual suspects, into trying to say that they're all transsexual, which is annoying.
And it's really
And
weird
just
how they always
wrong.
ignore the actual
Just
canonically
completely
trans characters
wrong.
out there and always want to try to go after the femboys. They're so extremely brain rotted on this topic that they even go after terminology. For example, they tried to stop femboys being called trap, saying that even calling a femboy trap is offensive because trap should be a slur. They tried to say that trap is just a slur for a trans woman.
I mean, it's not a slur though, because that's exactly what you're doing. Like they make a game of it, bro. They made a game of that, by the way. Like they get a kick out of confusing straight men. Ha ha,
Yeah,
you like
fucking.
you like a dude who looks a little too much like a woman. Ha ha, are you confused about your sexuality yet? No, retard. I thought it was a woman.
Yeah, it's the fuck. Yeah, it's the stupid. Hey, or is liking femboys gay? Stupid shit all over again. Or the prank got him with, or the got him prank with the
Yeah,
femboy character.
yeah, but trap should be a slur when you're literally trying to trap dudes by showing them what they think is a woman and going, ha ha, turns out you thought it was a woman, but it was me. Dio. Stupid.
Yeah, it was me, Barry.
Oh
I
my
was the one
god.
who helped you.
You know what? Eobard would do some wild shit like that. Like fucking Barry get a prostitute, think it was a woman. And then after the morning after, he'd roll over and see Eobard's face. It's like, bro, I don't think this is hate, bro. I don't think this is hate anymore. I don't think this is hate anymore. I think you're in love with him. Anyway,
It's,
but yeah,
it's. Oh my god. don't
trap
even
should
make me
not be a
think
slur.
about the hate thought
Trap
that
is not a
next
slur.
aspect.
Trap is descriptively accurate.
And it's like, no, 99.
Like, but yeah, these people are like you said, they're fucking brain rotted because a creator can't even claim. First of all, I said more creators should do this because it's getting annoying, right? The creator of Poison from Street Fighter and Final Fight was too cowardly to straight up tell the Western audience that they're wrong, and took a cop out saying, "Oh, the character is whatever you want them to be," which is fucking stupid. Bridget, fucking from Guilty Gear, the creators of that character established in their backstory that it's a dude, but now they're trying to walk that back in interviews, saying Bridget's a transsexual, Bridget's a girl, and all this stupid shit when it was played off for laughs as a joke in the past. Bridget was literally a trap. Literally, that was the joke. GT, all of these men are attracted to what they believe is a woman, but it's actually a little boy. Tee, that was the joke.
I mean, also in old movies, a man dressing up as a woman was also just in a joke in of itself because he looked ridiculous doing it.
Yeah, hairy legs, manly jaw, woman makeup somehow. They even have a character like that in King and Ashura. Like,
Yeah.
and the best thing
Then
about
you
it is
got
that those characters were usually self-aware. Another character is one of the princesses from Shrek. I forgot which one that was, but yeah,
it was Shrek 3.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. But also, what was it? Hold up, wait. One at the top of my head. Um, oh, white chicks. You had two black dudes dressing up as white women, like full on
Yeah,
disguise. Remember
yeah.
that?
They fucking turned off Taylor Swift and turned on shit. I forgot what rap song they turned on, but that was a funny ass bit. That was a funny ass bit. That bit was funny as hell. And then Terry Crews trying to woo the white women
Terry
by
Crews
playing Taylor
pursuing
Swift.
the fucking
Terry Crews in that movie. Oh my god, dude. Hey, white chocolate. I wouldn't
bro.
want you to melt. Oh my god, bro. Holy shit.
Terry Crews was probably the best in that movie, man.
Once again, Hero Hey, check out that video. It's a great video. Matter of fact, I'm about to drop it in the chat. It's a really good video about that topic. But yeah, man, it's sickening. our fucking cultures are being eroded. Not even anime is safe. Between the vocalizers and the fucking headcanon trans I don't even know what to call them. The people who want to make everybody trans. Transformers. There we go.
Transformers.
There we go. Between the vocalizers and the Transformers, nothing is safe.
You know, this brings up another. This brings up what I was saying earlier, and I kind of always wanted to get a insight on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we already know about the folk localizers, the people on the western side who are fucking with interpretation of the eastern side. But what kind of gets me is why do some anime play around with making some specific characters like sex genders ambiguous? Like number one top of my head would be Krona,
Well,
Soul Eater.
well,
Got Yakuda, a new anime I was watching, also has
that's always been a thing though.
a
Actually,
character who's like,
sorry,
huh?
I said them doing that, the androgyny thing with characters has always been a thing, and that goes as far back as the kabuki theater thing, where they would sometimes have a man dress up as a woman, because women were actually not allowed to do things like that, and that's why they would have a man do it
Yeah, but
instead.
things, right? I knew that, but things changed like way far since then. But then you still have certain animes that just put in a character that they don't actually tell you whether they're man, woman, boy, or girl, and you just kind of left figuring it out for yourself because you might not even be able to use like the voice actor as a kind of telling of, hey, is that a girl or is that a boy? And that always threw me off because I know Japan isn't so egregious like they are like it is over here with messing with characters, sexes, genders, and all that.
I mean,
So I just wonder why do some anime.
most of the time it's a joke. Most of the time it's a joke. For Chroma, I honestly believe that it's just general audience confusion because I figured that Chroma was a dude as soon as I saw him. But I get that the frail frame, the pink hair, and the garb, which people think is a dress. I'm pretty sure that's a religious garb because that's what it looks like to me. Um, he doesn't even wear a nun's cap, but it looks like a priest boy's gown or something. I think Chroma's case is different. Yeah, he does look kind of androgynous, but to me, he looked mostly male. It's not like Bridget or Astolfo or fucking Kirita. I think Chroma doesn't fit that. But speaking
Oh
on the
no, I
topic
know.
itself, yeah, that was always a thing because most of the time it's played off as a joke. The creator just likes to confuse people. A lot of creators just get a kick out of doing that.
That's the thing is like I would get it if it was like an actual like in universe joke where like characters are trying to figure out like, hey, hey, is that a girl or a boy? Oh, actually, Uno reverse type of shit. Like
They do that too.
with Haku, like with Haku when Naruto was like, Haku was a girl and then found out he was a boy, freaked
That's
him
a
the
very
fuck out.
famous example. I
That was a
mean,
joke. I got that. That was
yeah.
very clearly meant to be a joke. But with Soul Eater, this new anime I was watching, Gachi Okuda has a character, a child character who didn't explicitly say if it's a boy or girl. In fact, I don't know if it's a localizer thing, but I don't think even the Japanese side ever clearly states whether the kid character is actually a boy or a girl. I assume it's a girl based off of voice and based off of the look, but I could be wrong. They don't actually even make it clear. I think even this other anime, Homie Can't Communicate, has a character like that where they're either gender as characters either ambiguous or is like actually meant to be transsexual. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't really trust what people say about it anymore. I don't trust what people say about it anymore. But it
If
just
the
leaves me with so many questions as to why the Japanese side is doing this kind of stuff when it's not a joke.
well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by it's not a joke, but yeah, I think you mean the
Because like with
ambiguity thing in general. Like it
yeah,
usually
like the
is
ambiguity. That's
it usually is an inside joke thing by the creators, but it's also sometimes a fetish. It is also
Oh
some kind of
God.
fetish. But I assure you, anime has done that for a long time, like a long, 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 long time.
No, it was like again using Haku as from Naruto as an example. I
Yeah.
get that that was meant to be a joke to the creator and to the show,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I guess I'm have to assume that the Soul Eater author just thought, hey, it would be really funny if I just made this character ambiguous, never actually say whether Krono's a boy or a girl, and just let the fans argue about it for 5 minutes.
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that Chroma's a boy. I'm fairly certain.
If it was confirmed, I don't remember. I don't remember ever seeing it because I read the manga and I watched the anime. They never made that clear,
Hmm.
unless I missed something from the manga.
It's been a
But
while
I
since
don't
I've
know.
watched the anime, but I could have fucking sworn.
No, the anime for sure, never made it clear. Maybe the manga, or maybe something behind the scenes, like a letter from the manga author. But if there is, I've never seen it.
Anyway, the point is, it's typical of anime. It's typical. But no, I see why you have those concerns, especially now with again the usual suspects growing ever closer to the anime production process. So yeah, no, I get why
But,
I get it.
yeah, like it's bad enough from the Western side, but I know Japan itself, like even though the Japanese like country and the culture over there is like vastly different from ours, I know even they kind of there are a subsection of people that I feel like would also I feel like if given the power, they would operate the same as it is over here. And even with like modern anime, I feel like they're leaning into that slowly bit by bit. Like where they
Soups,
start adding in confusing characters like that and shit like this, just shit like this that just start a dumpster fire,
soups. I
whatever
need a
reason.
big favor from you. I need you to keep talking for like 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes longer. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I mean, while I'm still on the topic of Soul Eater Gachakuda, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Soul Eater. I remember watching that so long ago, thanks to a couple of family members introducing it to me. It's still, I still hold not just a nostalgia for it, but I still hold just a genuine love for that series. I do find the manga version better though, just because I'm pretty sure most everyone agrees that the anime kind of dipped downhill at once it started drifting from the source material. As for Gacha Kuda, I mean, I'm gonna keep bringing that one up because even though it's not written by the same author, it's written in the same spirit as Fire Force, which was written by Soul Eater author. I will say though with Gacha Kuda, what in the hell is up with the English dub of Gacha Kuda? Cause that is I watched the whole season and it is the most Gen Z ass dialogue script I've ever seen in anime, and it terrifies me at how much Gen Z slang they shoved into that shit. It terrifies me. I was laughing and cringing all over the place. It Oh my god. I don't even know where to start with that. And I'm not gonna turn this into a whole anime review video, but if any of y'all have seen that anime, please say something because I want to hear what more people think about Gacha Kuda. Like I enjoy it, like just as and popcorn entertainment, well not background noise. I'm not gonna be that disrespectful about it. I do I can watch Gacha Kuda. In the back of my mind, I'm just gonna brace myself for more cringe Gen Z lines. And I don't know if that's meant something that was meant to be, even from the Japanese side, or if that was just something purely done for the American audience.
I'm back.
Oh, hey, you're back.
Yep. I hope you had a very insightful conversation while I was gone.
Yes, I had a very insightful conversation to the air.
Oh, we're
Wait,
super quiet.
wait, Jay, super quiet. What the?
We
What?
are? Hang
I was just
on.
rambling for like a minute.
He said he just joined, so I'm going to turn us up. Because, like, I don't know why I don't know why we're quiet. Let me see. Because I think our volume's pretty good. What about now?
Is it me? Am I coming off as quiet or like low?
I have you up pretty high on the back end.
Let's see.
Both of us are quiet? What the fuck, bro? What? Huh?
Is it on the YouTube side? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How long has this been? How long have we been quiet? Because Jimbo keeps saying that. Jimbo keeps responding to us like every now and then. Clearly, he can hear us.
Yeah, he
Unless
was
he's
responding.
expert
I
trolling-
turned
unless
this up
it's an
to.
expert trolling operation.
I turned us both up. Let's see what it sounds like on the back end.
Jay, and just in case, can you refresh, either on your Discord side or on the
It
YouTube
sounds good on
side?
my. I was about to say I can hear us on the phone.
I can hear us on the I hear us back here and I hear us on the YouTube side too, so that's why I'm confused. Jimbo just responded saying I can hear y'all fine in all caps.
Bruh.
I can hear you.
Nice. All right, good.
Better on my. Okay,
You got an echo.
I'm guessing
God
it's probably
damn it.
some lag he had.
Oh, never mind. No. I know what it was. I was playing my phone out loud, and some of that might have gotten into the mic.
I'm saying for Blue Jay, it might have been because he like just walked in. Blue Jay says still a little low, but it's manageable. Jesus.
We have an echo? Damn it. Hold on.
Wait. I don't know.
I was
don't
on the
hear an
Discord and
echo.
you guys were fine. Where? Damn it, man. People are saying we have an echo. All of that. Damn it.
No, I don't hear an echo. I think we're fine.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. Anyway, I wanted to have this be our final segment because I wanted to talk about it last week, but I couldn't because it was just too late. I'm probably gonna dedicate like 20 minutes to this, and then we're gonna sign off because yeah. So first things first, I am a Perfect Cell fan. That being said, I'm not so much of a Perfect Cell fan that I'm just caped for him against characters that he should obviously lose against. I don't do that from any character. I'm a bigger Spider-Man fan than I am a. What'd you say?
That of course you're a Perfect Cell fan. Everyone appreciates perfection.
That's true. That is true. But nah, for real though. I'm a bigger Spider-Man fan than I am a fucking Dragon Ball Z fan. Perfect Cell fan specifically. And I mean, I acknowledge all the time when Spider-Man gets dog walked by several characters, bro. Like several. Like he's street level for a reason. Like he's at a point where he's at the point you get just before you stop being street level. Like he's the tippity top of street level, right? But the thing about this death battle is the reason why Metal Sonic ended up winning is because they took so much source information from power scalers, right? But when you go back and read Neo Metal Sonic's actual stories, none of the shit they claimed he could do was ever depicted. And everything that everyone ascribes to him being able to do is like inferred and like from made up calculations. You go back and read those IDW comics where he supposedly embarrassed Sonic. That shit didn't happen. They see one panel of Sonic getting kicked in the stomach, and then they say that he dog walked Sonic. That's not at all what happened. They completely remove an ability out of the context of its story, and then headcanoned it into fucking omnipotence so that he could win in this death battle. And I'm not saying that's Death Battle's fault because I don't believe it's Death Battle's doing, but they did fucking take from the source of like power scalers when it comes to Neo Metal Sonic. So I'm about to say this shit right now. No, he cannot perfectly copy people's abilities and be better than them. No, he does not. No, he is not faster than light. No, he is not multiversal. None of that shit is true.
I want to say something. I do want to say something what you just said though.
None of that shit is fucking true. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I disagree slightly on the death battle. It not being their fault because their main gimmick is over 70 or really 80%, 80 maybe even 90% of the video of them overly explaining character feats and making up super astronomical calculations to try to measure character speed. So
no, we're gonna get into that
gimmick of theirs. But the thing, oh, what?
No, you can continue, but I was just saying we're gonna get into that. But I was saying it's not their fault the character has this sort of reputation. We'll get into what actually is their fault in a second, but go ahead.
Oh, I mean, yeah, okay. In terms of reputation, sure, I agree, but I feel like that's also, to an extent, that's also their own fault, just going based off of like past death battles we've had, because you and I both have the same feeling about Virgil versus Sephiroth.
Oh my god, Virgil versus Sephiroth, bro. There's so many bad death battles that are objectively bad. Like if you look at both characters from their respective stories and compare them to one another, there's no way that these outcomes would be true. Like you talk about Bardock versus fucking Omni-Man. Bardock lost to Omni-Man. Are you fucking serious? Bro, in that same video, they had stuff that contradicted their result where you see Nolan, I forgot this motherfucker's name, Mark, and you see the Grand Regent, the old one, the old Grand Regent flying through a fucking planet.
Wait,
which, by the way,
Conquest?
Not Conquest, the old Grand Regent, the old guy who's over the Federation with Alan the alien in them. You see Mark, Nolan, and the old guy fly through the core of a planet, which, by the way, they couldn't even destroy that planet with their own sheer force. They needed Space Racer to shoot his pistol through the planet to destabilize the core before all three of them could blow up the planet. They're not planet busters. The one feat that they showed with him being a planet buster needed a very specific context to achieve, plus two other people's power. So like that's one battle. Sephiroth v Virgil, right? Virgil's a fucking demon who was immune to hellfire, yet they had him die to the fucking, what's that shit called? Supernova. Not on top of that,
they had him like badly get fucked up by the supernova.
Yeah,
they
it's
didn't
stupid.
Kill him per se, but it fucked him up real bad. The video.
It's stupid. But the thing is, they ignored his healing factor. They ignored his severe speed advantage. They ignored the devil trigger, making him at least 2 times as strong. At least. It's bigger than that, but at least 2 times as strong. Sephiroth has never faced anybody as strong as Virgil. How the fuck does he win that fight? How?
I will say, as a slight nitpick, they didn't ignore it. They downplayed it. Because they do bring up the fact that Virgil was clean straight in half. And instantly healed it. Like, to the point that he didn't even... Like, he didn't even
fall apart.
He didn't fall apart, but he just felt the cut to the point that it fucked him up.
Yeah.
And it did, how do you say? I discombobulated him. Like, it shook him.
Yeah.
Badly, but... Yeah, they didn't. It's like they acknowledge his feat, but they downplay it tremendously, or they don't take enough of his feats seriously enough. But they acknowledge it's there. Also, I'm gonna take care of something real quick, so I'm gonna mute for a quick second.
All right. Good night, Jimbo. But yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much longer on this topic. But yeah, all of that shit that they say that Neo Metal Sonic can do is just made up by power scalers and deranged Sonic fanboys, not Sonic fans, Sonic fanboys. I looked for the proof for this motherfucker being faster than light and multiversal and the perfect being and all this shit, and all of it points back to them taking several gameplay mechanics and story beats and statements which matter less than on-screen showings out of context in order to make characters seem stronger than they are. The reason why Metal Sonic has all of the feats he had in the video is because they say that he scales to Sonic when you read the stories, no the fuck he doesn't. He always loses to Sonic. And there's a narrative reason why he loses to Sonic, because he's a robot and he doesn't have the X factor, the spirit that Sonic has, or some bullshit. It's very obviously supposed to be a narrative story to teach a sort of lesson, and not a character that's made to be a fucking powerhouse, or like they're trying to depict Sonic characters as if they're like Baki or Dragon Ball or Kenichi characters, when that's not what the fuck Sonic characters are supposed to be. Yes, they have feats of speed and feats of strength and shit like that, but that's not what the fuck the Sonic stories are about at all. Like, go back and read the appearance of Neo Metal Sonic. You're not gonna see any of that shit they're talking about. Go back and play Sonic 64 or whatever game he appeared in. I think it was Sonic 64.
Metal Sonic first appeared in Sonic CD.
Sonic CD, thank you. Fuck, my bad. Yeah, Sonic CD. Go back and because for some reason different shit happens in the comic book that is also canon, and the game that is also canon, but somehow they take all of the positive shit that happened with Metal Sonic from both of those and ignore all of the contradictions and all of the things that make him seem. They ignore all the bad showings for the character. They ignore the bad showings in the comic book. They ignore the bad showings in the game, and they take all the positive shit from both. Even though different things happened. Like in the game, Neo Metal Sonic never achieves a super form, but we're going to take that from the comics and say that that's canon. I don't even know if it's agreed upon whether or not the shit is canon. I hear fans say that they say it's canon. I haven't found a source from IDW saying that the comics are canon. I have not. I looked for it. But anyway, I've been approaching this argument from the stance that both of them are canon anyway, so it doesn't matter. The only time that Neo Metal Sonic embarrasses any characters is when he finally achieves a super form, and then he beats the shit out of Knuckles and Sonic. And then right after that, Shadow manages to knock him out of his super form and give him and fucking beat him up in his base form. And that's the thing about the fucking comic book. All the characters defeat him in their base form. And these are supposed to be like his strongest forms that get defeated in the comic book. Like, yeah, they jump him, but he should be so powerful that them jumping him shouldn't matter. Especially when he's achieved Metal Overlord, which is supposed to be stronger than his super form. And none of them have any Chaos Emeralds to counteract it. And by the way, the Master Emerald nullifies the effects of the Chaos Emeralds. So even if they were in super form, it wouldn't work. But somehow these motherfuckers in their base form still defeat him. Yet I'm supposed to believe that he's this all-powerful, multiversal, faster-than-light, perfect being who copies everybody instantly and does everything better than them at a glance. Like, it's bullshit. They let a fandom gas up a character, and they took all of that fucking misinformation and brought it to the death battle. That's what they did. Sonic fans have no actual proof for any of the feats that they give to their characters. None.
I wanted to say, the whole thing with the whole thing with the master, the emeralds is so weird because In some depictions, I see that the Chaos Emeralds come together to form the Master Emerald, and then no, that's that. And other times, like at the movies, they're played they're say not that they're played separately, but that instead of splitting apart, like they should be, they just form the Master Emerald, and then that's it. Make
In
to
most
overly simplify
depictions,
it. Then in the comic, and then now that the way you're describing the comics, it sounds confusing because if if the Master Emerald is there, then there just wouldn't be any Chaos Emeralds because they're all formed into the Master Emerald.
well, in most depictions, it's shown that there are the 7 Chaos Emeralds and then the Master Emerald, which is supposed to keep the powers of the Chaos Emerald in check. And obviously, Knuckles is the guardian of the Master Emerald on Angel Island. That's what happens in most depictions. From my research, right? Because again, like I'm not a super big Sonic fan, even though I do enjoy the games and I did enjoy the shows. I'm not a Sonic fan. You know what I mean? Like, I like Sonic, but I wouldn't consider myself a Sonic fan.
I was gonna say it's weird because I was always thought that the original more popular interpretation was just that the Chaos Emeralds formed the Master Emerald altogether, and then until the Master Emerald is used, and then they basically pull the Dragon Balls and just split off into separate directions.
Yeah, they do
That's
always
what I
have to
thought.
collect them. And that's another thing, right? They gave Neo Metal Sonic the Master Emeralds and Chaos. They gave him shit. They gave him outside help, right? Because when you look at Neo Metal Sonic's story, right? He doesn't just have everybody's bio data. He has to set them up and collect it. Which means it's not a fucking standard ability, or it's not everyone's bio data is not a standard item in his kit. The ability to copy shit is, but not Sonic's bio data and fucking Shadow's bio data, which are the only 2 bio data that matters, by the way. That's the only shit that matters. The bio data is not something he just has. He had to collect that. He had to collect that. He has to collect the Chaos Emeralds as well. That's not a standard item in his kit. Like, literally, they're treating him going Super Neo Metal Sonic the same as Perfect Cell going Super Saiyan, when it's not. Cell being able to go Super Saiyan is intrinsic to who he is because he can just turn it on and off because it's a part of his body. This motherfucker has to go find 7 shiny rocks to transform into a super form. So, yeah, they cheated for him.
That's another thing I've been confused on because I remember Sonic Heroes when he becomes Neo Metal, Overlord and all that.
He needed the Chaos
Was
Emeralds.
that was when he used the Chaos Emerald? I thought he just upgraded himself after gaining so much sentience that you know became the giant Neo Metal Sonic, and then used a Chaos Emerald to become like a form of basically become the Kaiju Dragon boss fight at the very end of the game.
See, here's the thing, right?
I thought he had already upgraded himself enough to be strong enough that Sonic had to go super to warrant beating him.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? He even transforms in different ways from between the comic and the games, right? In the games, he copies Chaos to be able to use Chaos control. Chaos is like a god in their universe, like a water god. He copies that thing's bio data to be able to use Chaos control in the game, but in the comic, he copies Shadow's bio data to be able to use Chaos control. So like again, they're just picking and choosing what they want. I mean, well, I guess it doesn't matter because either way, they gave him Chaos control, right? Which is again not a standard ability he has. He had to go collect it. so basically, they made a composite form of this character, and they skipped all the steps necessary for him to get all the shit that he needed to get to achieve his super form and achieve all of this bio data shit. Like it's so whack because like again outside help for the Chaos Emeralds, which by the way people try to compare that to Cell needing the androids to transform into Perfect Cell, which is not even the same thing because first of all, didn't y'all request Perfect Cell, which is a fucking requirement for him to even be in the fight? Second off, he doesn't even need the androids to beat Metal Sonic because Cell has on-screen feats. We actually see him do shit. We see him blow up cities. We see him blow up. Wait, what else does he blow up? He doesn't blow up the planet, but he blows up a lot of shit. We see him power up and affect the weather and destroy the terrain. Like we see him do shit. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, in the second form, he blows up islands like casually.
There we go.
And by then, he's already strong enough to blow up the planet. So, assumably by the first form, and since the first form requires either super powered up character, like super fused, or Super Saiyan 1 level characters to beat him.
Yeah, like
I kind of assume that Cell is already, even the first form, Cell is already strong enough to be. He's warranted a planet buster if he can pull a Frieza and just blow up the core as a sucker move.
Yeah, first form Cell is stronger than Frieza, and he's stronger than a Super Saiyan. Because at the time you meet first form Frieza, he fights Piccolo, who fused with Nail and Kami, and was a Super Namekian, who was also stronger than a Super Saiyan. At that point, Piccolo was acknowledged by Vegeta to be stronger than him. Right? So, like, this game they're trying to play with, like, oh, well, the androids are outside help too. First of all, no, they're not. Second of all, even if you take the androids away, he's still stronger than Metal Sonic. Because he beats characters who are known planet busters. Piccolo, before he even fused with Nail and Kami, casually blew the fuck out of the moon because he saw Gohan transforming into an Ozaru.
Yeah.
So, like...
Which also brings up a question of, like, the Dragon Ball Z power scaling in that way before Super Saiyan was a thing, these characters already...
Nigga, Master Roshi blew up the moon in the original Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did that.
We see characters do things in Dragon Ball. We never see Sonic characters do any of the shit people claim they can do, ever. They just see some gameplay mechanics, they read some statements, they ignore the specific context from inside the story in the game, and then they say, Metal Sonic is multiversal. Metal Sonic is... Bro, they get something from absolutely fucking nothing. And they rely on statements far too fucking much. It's still hotly debated whether or not Cell could actually blow up the solar system, even though we have no reason to believe he couldn't. Because we didn't see him do it, we just say, I mean, it was hearsay. Because we never saw him do it. Even though he most likely could have done it, bro. He most likely could have blown up the solar system. Everybody else was certainly convinced he could have done it. You know what I'm saying? But we have so much integrity as Dragon Ball fans, most of us, some of us, that we don't even count that as a feat. Bro, I know there's Dragon Ball tards, bro. I knew I fucked up as soon as I said it, but you get the point. The fact that the fact that it's even a debate in the community whether or not he actually could blow up the solar system is proof enough. Because we didn't see him do it, we don't give him the feat. We give him half of it.
It's just reasonable to assume, just based on the type of characters that are.
There's a bunch of circumstantial evidence to lead you to believe he could, but since we didn't see him do it, we don't give it to him.
I do want to say for Metal Sonic though, because for me, I always judged that like Super Sonic was supposed to be the kind of power equivalent to, just base Super Saiyan 1 form. I mean, that's the tribute. Because that's supposed to be like the tribute. That's supposed to be the kind of, I don't want to say knockoff, but that's supposed to be the kind of reference.
Yeah, but we've never seen
Super Sonic do quite a few things.
Yeah, but we've never seen him do things like Super Saiyan Goku ever. We've never seen him do shit like Super Saiyan Goku. So
Mm.
that's even a debate
That's
whether or not Super Sonic is as strong as a Super Saiyan. That's as much as Sonic fans don't want that to be the case. It's absolutely a debate. Show us on-screen panels of Sonic doing anything comparable to a Super Saiyan 1. I don't want to see any calcs. I don't want to see any fucking statements. I don't want to see this ABC 1, 2, 3 connect the dots bullshit. I want to see you show me a clip from a canon show or a panel from a canon comic of Sonic doing anything equivalent to Goku, like speed blitzing an opponent, vanishing, blowing something up, blowing up a city, blowing up a planet, anything, bro. Show me something instead of relying on fake math and statements, bro, and inferences.
Also, in terms of like men, in terms of like measuring Metal Sonic's feats, I can't really blame Death Battle for trying to fuse the stuff from the comics and the stuff from the games, even despite the contradictions, because
Yeah, but it's still
Sonic
composite.
Sonic is so fucking flimsy about Sonic is so flimsy on how they whether they consider the IDW or even the other comics that came out later of Sonic, whether they consider those canon or not. Because or if they're canon, then it's a multiversal type of canon. Oh, it's canon, but it's a separate universe, like type of bullshit. Like
It's
Marvel
really,
when when Marvel makes up other dimensions or they start calling adaptations other universes. Like the
it's
Sonic movies
really,
is
really
basically its own
weird.
universe at this point.
It's really weird, man. Because like, again, I like Sonic, but the fan base is just fucking infuriating and insufferable. Like, bro, the like Metal Sonic is wanked so hard by the Sonic fans that people actually think he was lowballed in the death battle and he still won. They don't believe
No,
that
it's funny
Cell is
'cause I feel
faster
like
than
he
him.
gets. It's weird because I feel like it's the opposite in that, yeah, I believe Metal Sonic should have lost in the death battle. But I feel like in the actual like the games and the comics, he should be, the one actually jumping the heroes more often than not, especially when he starts gunning into the Neo Metal form. Because I remember watching the OVA fight where with Metal Sonic and regular Sonic,
Mm.
and Metal Sonic was actually winning for a minute there. And it wasn't until Tails messed with his programming by trying to channel, program Sonic's personality into him to where, Sonic actually got the edge over him. And Metal Sonic,
That's from the
you know,
game.
in- narratively speaking, became a little bit more like Sonic, which is why in a way, when he was at the very end of the movie, it's like we can see Metal Sonic either gain his own sentience or have an identity crisis over over convincing himself or programmed to convince himself that he's actually the real Sonic.
That did happen. That's exactly what happened. That was his whole arc.
Like,
He convinced himself he was the
yeah,
real
that's just
Sonic. Yeah,
Mhm.
he thinks
And that's the
Sonic
thing.
is
I'm
the
like,
copy.
yeah, he thinks Sonic is the copy, but my thing is, he should be like him and Sonic should be more even in like who wins versus who loses because I feel like in the games he gets lowballed a lot when he shouldn't. But I assume that's just because you're playing as Sonic,
I mean,
and
his whole
you
career
have
is
to
him being a
you have to
jobber.
inch out over. Huh?
His whole career is him being a jobber. That's what he's set up to be. Even though he's still formidable, he's still a jobber.
Like, does he need the job so hard?
Yep, that's literally the purpose of
Like,
his
I feel like he
character.
should have inched. Like, I feel like he should be inching out over, characters like Shadow over characters like Knuckles. Well, I mean, yeah,
I
he probably
actually
can't be Knuckles,
disagree
but
on Shadow only because in the IDW comics, Shadow can use Chaos Control at will without the need of Chaos Emeralds. That's why it looks like he's teleporting
oh,
sometimes.
oh my God. Okay, the Shadow and the Chaos Control thing confuses me so fucking bad because every time because I'm so used to Shadow depending on the Chaos Emerald to do chaos control,
Unless I
but then I see
misread,
some universes where he just teleports without it, and it's not even portrayed as him stopping time. It's just portrayed as teleport,
yeah,
and it
they
confuses
they
the fuck out of me. Like, which is it?
well, it's him stopping time, but the reason it's depicted as teleportation is because that's exactly what the fuck it would look like from our perspective. We wouldn't be aware that he stopped
Yeah,
time.
right. I mean, yeah, I would assume that, but they never, like in Sonic 3, as much as I love Sonic 3, they don't show it as that. Like, they don't show Shadow's perspective of, chaos control, tele- moving around while to the Sonic characters, it just looked like he teleported. Sonic X showed it clear cut that, hey, he didn't actually teleport, he just straight up stopped time.
Yeah, but I mean that's
But then again,
another.
it's also weird because him doing it without the Chaos Emerald now is what weirds me out because I always thought he actually depended on it.
Like I
Or did he
said,
just absorb
unless
so much Chaos energy that he could just do it at will now?
unless I misread that panel in the Neo Metal Sonic arc that I was reading with IDW, he literally sneak attacks Neo Metal Sonic in his super form. He sneak attacks Super Neo Metal Sonic, uh, by stabbing him in the center of his body with like an energy projected chaos spear. Like he just stabs him and he knocks him out of his super
Yeah.
form and then just starts beating his ass. And that's when Neo transforms into Metal Overlord. Which, by the way, the contradiction between Neo, how Neo lost, Overlord lost in the game in the comic is that in the comic he got jumped by everybody who was in their base form, and in the game, there was Super Sonic, Super Tails, and Super
Supersonic.
Knuckles. They had to fight
Wait,
him.
it was Super. Wait, it
Hmm?
was Super Knuckles and Tails. I thought it was just Supersonic, and then the other two were just still in their base forms trying to back him up in the
They
game.
had the yellow glow on them. Yeah, so they were all in super
It's
form. So like that's another
it's weird because
contradiction.
they don't have.
They completely
It's because
ignored the poor showing. Cause like, let's be real. Do you honestly believe that Cell could not recreate the conditions necessary to defeat Metal Overlord? I mean, to be fair, Death Battle actually gave him the fight against Base Metal and Neo Metal. Excuse me, against Base Metal and Overlord. But they said Super Neo Metal wins because he has chaos control in the super form, which again, outside help. And even
I
then,
don't
even if he can
mind if
use chaos control, it's debatable whether or not he could even hurt Cell because this is the same Cell that fucking no sail the Kienzon, which can literally cut through anything. The only time it failed to cut through something was when it hit Cell.
I
Has
was gonna
never failed ever
say.
since.
I mean, I was gonna say in terms of Cell like that, the sort of outside hope that you're saying. I mean, I don't so much mind because I figured, oh, if they're combining feats from both game and comic, I figured, okay, they're just gonna combine. They're gonna have him have all the data already pre-established. Like he already did the work to copy chaos control. He already did the work to copy, everyone's techniques, everyone's powers,
Yeah, but that's not
and
standard in his kit. So what they did was give a character a massive one-sided advantage, two of them, and then declared them the winner, which anybody can do. Anybody can do that. Cell already did the work. Cell already did the work to wish for immortality, and he also already did the work to wish to be stronger. So let's put him up against Neo Metal Sonic now. Does that sound exciting? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This fight, this entire fight is a disaster. I don't know why more people aren't calling it out. Him having people's bio data is not a standard item in his kit. Him having the Chaos Emeralds is not a standard item in his kit. It's not. It isn't, bro. On
I
top of
don't
the
know
fact that
because
all the feats people give him just straight up aren't true. They can't prove them. They can't prove them with any concrete data at all. None. It's all circumstantial, fucking connect the dot calculations bullshit. It's not like with Cell where, you know, he's absorbed the strongest fighters in the universe. We haven't necessarily seen him do all the shit that the characters he's absorbed has, but since he absorbed them and we see him fight those characters that we saw do other shit, it's probably safe to say he's stronger than them, especially since everything that we're being told and shown is lining up with what he should be capable of doing, right? Like, yeah, we never saw him defeat Frieza like Goku, but he was able to absorb Goku. Now he has his power. He was able to absorb Future Trunks, so now he has his power. He was able to absorb Vegeta. All the fucking Z fighters from the past, bro. We seen them do shit. He absorbed them. He has their power. Like, it just makes sense. Obviously, he would have their power if he absorbed them, and he's an android that's made to do that. Like, that's much less circumstantial than all the shit they're doing with Metal Sonic. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on the topic. I may make a video about this shit. I might not. The fire is dead. I just got very pissed at seeing how not only do people enable the Sonic fan base, that the Sonic fan base is completely fine with being deluded into believing that Sonic characters are the most powerful characters in all of fiction that can solo Dragon Ball and Marvel and DC, and they're so strong, and it's bullshit, bro. I'm sorry, it's not true. It's not true.
Speaking of soloing Marvel and DC, I saw that in the crossover comic with DC that Sonic just casually outspeeds Flash, which I don't buy that. I
That's
don't
a
buy
fan.
that.
That's a fan service crossover comic that is not canon, bro. We've never seen Sonic be able to do anything Flash can do, bro. Sonic can't even vibrate his molecules. Stop it. Stop it, bro.
Doesn't I mean, you don't even. It's not. I mean, it's not even so much a matter of that. It's just the fact that it's not a matter of whether it's canon or not. It's just the fact that um, Sonic had never, like you said, he's never done anything that Flash has done before. But not in terms of like just molecules. I mean, just making his own dimension of fucking Speed Force, where that just has to be constantly running. Which is
Even the
also just kind of
other
a bullshit. I mean,
continue.
which is also kind of a bullshit logic on Flash because that's not how speed works. But
Well, the Speed Force is like, it's masquerading as scientific, but it's a magical mechanic that was introduced to the character. But anyway, that's another thing, right? With Sonic. Shit, I lost my train of thought because I wanted to explain the Speed Force thing. Hang on. Shit. Fuck. God damn it, I lost it. Hang on. Shit. I straight up forgot what the fuck it was. I don't remember. Damn.
I mean, I'm talking about Sonic, how Sonic should not be able to outrun Flash. Said to non-canon. I mean, whether it's canon or not, it just shouldn't be happening unless Sonic got like a major speed boost externally. Like how
That's just
Spider-Man
not.
gets like an
Those
external
aren't the
power
type of
boost.
stories that. Those aren't the type of stories that the writers of Sonic are trying to make, though. And fans are desperate to make it that way. It's like the Smash thing again, bro. Like with Smash being a fighting game, apparently Metal Sonic and Sonic are like the strongest characters of fiction. No, they're not, bro. Stop
I mean, but
it.
even
It's
then, I
fandoms
know
trying to
sometimes the fan
shoehorn.
base.
Go ahead.
But I was gonna say, but sometimes fan bases actually respond against certain
Not for Sonic.
unbelievable crossover
Not
feats because
not for Sonic, bro.
using because maybe not with Sonic, but I know with like when Superman and Homelander crossed over against each other, you actually get to see them fight in a comic. But the way the comic showed it, it was like Superman struggled. Superman struggled. He actually had to, you know, put his back into beating Homelander when everyone in every comment section I would see on Instagram, all the comments were just saying, no.
I
Why is
mean,
Superman struggling to beat Homelander? This is not how it works.
based on what we've seen from Homelander in his own universe, he looks pretty strong
Yeah, like
there.
both
But
comic
since we've
and
never seen him do anything that Superman can do, it's hard to believe. It's just hard to believe.
this isn't possible. Yeah, because like it is impossible within the comic and the Amazon show, which by the way I did watch the newest season,
Oh Lord.
and it's still shit. Homelander can just isn't built to go up against Superman despite being a knockoff.
No, he isn't. He hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown himself to be able to. The writers haven't done that either. Like, nah.
Nah, because the writers on both comic and show care more about Homelander's obsession with breast milk,
Oh
or
my god.
or raping the wife of his arch nemesis or some bullshit.
Oh yeah. Another thing about the Sonic fandom, I think I covered this briefly already. They ignore bad. They just straight up never mention bad showings from the characters. Like there are definitely plenty of showings that contradict all of that bullshit calculation, multiversal, speed of light. Like all that shit gets contradicted on the regular in the games and in the fucking comics. Like, I don't know why the fuck. Again, I don't know where they get this shit from. I don't know where they get it from. Sonic being faster than light and multiversal. Like, where did they get it from, bro? Where? Where did they get it from? Like the magic. Like I get it, bro. The Chaos Emeralds are magical, do anything gems, but guess what? They only do what the plot demands of them, which means if you only have something to do with the plot demands, it will always contradict itself somewhere down the line, bro. Always, like every time.
I was gonna
Always.
say, and I was gonna say Sonic on just base form. I figured at best he was as fast as sound, but no, not fast
That's
as
like
light.
that's
Like
the
Flash
most
is.
consistent thing we've seen.
Yeah, because I remember in Sonic X first episode, or not first episode, second episode when he crossed over into the quote unquote our world. He outruns a car that he outruns a speed racer, and the speed racer measured the speed, going basically going holy shit, he's going faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And I want
Like,
to respond to Blue Jay's comment. Yeah, Superman does have more battle experience, but I mean, like even without that, Superman is just built.
Superman's just flat out stronger. Like, skill's not gonna close a strength gap, no matter how much people try to fucking tell you otherwise. It's not going to happen. Like, if somebody's stronger than you, you can't manipulate them. You can't.
Yeah, it's like even if Superman did not have the battle experience, like if Superman had no battle experience, he would still win against Homelander. And Homelander has like no real battle experience either.
He's more durable, faster, and stronger, bro. But yeah, I don't know what that point was. I forgot. I probably won't care in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, that's me wrapping this up. I just had to air out those grievances with the. Again, it's not even about the death battle. It was mostly about the
power scalers,
the power scaling with fucking Metal Sonic in particular, and with the Sonic fan base. Like there were no dissenters that were Sonic fans saying, yeah, Metal's not that strong. There were none, bro. Yeah, given the context of the story, yeah, that's not how. Nobody was saying that shit, bro. Because you know what I do? I see motherfuckers making claims and throwing up panels. I go find the fucking comic and I go read it. You're not going to show me a fucking out of context panel and I'm just going to buy it, bro. I'm going to go read it. There's been a few creators like perpetuating bullshit about how strong Metal is compared to Perfect Cell, and it's bullshit. Go read the comics. Go play the game. Go watch the game. Go read the comics. None of that shit. If you look at the context of the story, You will find contradictions between what they're telling you and what the fuck the story says, bro. Metal Sonic is nowhere near the same class of power as Perfect Cell, and that's okay. The character doesn't have to be a Dragon Ball character to be a good character. If you're power scaling, you're already having less fun than everybody else.
I do want to make a little bit of a side note though. Death Battle also kind of tends to contradict itself through DBX, where because I remember DBX, which is supposed to be just like a Death Battle without the science explanations. I remember they had like two or three videos of Virgil versus Sephiroth. At least one of them, Virgil won very clearly, and he actually used all of his feats from Devil May Cry 3 before, way before 5 and 4 came out. And
Yeah,
I figured,
yeah,
hey, that's fair. How did this one get it right, but somehow the actual Death Battle video didn't? That's just
because
my
they
like
wanked Sephiroth.
one example.
They downplayed Virgil and wanked Sephiroth. Just like they downplayed Bardock and wanked Omni Man. There's other battles where they've done that shit too, by the way. Oh yeah, Super Silver versus, bro. They fucking used composite Super Trunks versus composite Silver from Sonic. Do you know that composite, bro? Time Patroller Trunks is in that. I don't know if you've seen Time Patroller Trunks. That motherfucker's ridiculous, bro. And then they're combining all the, like, bro, they did composite Super Trunks, which means Super Trunks from GT, Super, Z, and DBS, and Xenoverse. Like, never mind, bro. Never mind. I don't know how the fuck Silver beats all of that, but okay. All right. Okay, Death Battle. Moving on from that. I'm gonna wrap this up. It's like 10 p.m., bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Final
I
thoughts
just wanted to
before we
make
wrap.
I just wanted to say, I feel like Death Battle, what they should do is just fuck off with the sciencey and like trying to break down certain characters to fit certain Death Battles because I would rather they had just said fuck all of that and just put like a random slot number of okay, this character versus this character. Just make a random slot box at this point. Even if it's a completely one-sided fight, I would rather I feel like that would just be more honest than them trying to, like you said, break, take either cherry pick or break down certain characters to kind of mold it into the closest thing to a perfect matchup. Because as fun as that used to be,
I wish they would just be
the more and
honest.
more you watch, the more you realize that it's just not actually that possible. Or, oh, sure, they look like they're close in strength, but just one look at their feats and makes you realize, oh hell no, this ain't close at all.
I know that's fine. That happened with Batman versus Spider-Man, but the animation was still entertaining, and like the fucking the point of Death Battle was the suspense, the calculations, and the reasoning for the victor came after, right? Like that's fine. I just wish they were more honest with their call outs, like because sometimes, like in this case, I mean, I really don't think these two characters should have been fighting. I mean, actually, no, never mind. Fuck that. Fuck that. Like, if it's massively one sided, fine. Just call the result correctly because most of these fights are fights that the fans asked for, right? I just wish they weren't so, uh, and I'm inferring a lot here, I admit that, afraid of backlash when it comes to certain characters losing because that's what it felt like with Omni Man, that's what it felt like with Sephiroth, and that's what it feels like with Metal Sonic. That's exactly what the fuck it feels like.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're very much afraid of fan backlash against like super popular characters, especially Sephiroth.
But yeah, that's it for me. You got anything else you want to say? I put your book in the chat if you want to show that real quick before we leave.
I was gonna say first, last good death battle I saw was Monka versus Ruby, and even then that should have been more one-sided. Secondly, yes, I've written the book. It's selling. It's on Amazon. Please check it out. Thank, and thank you for linking it into the chat.
Yes, sir. Buy his shit. All right, that's gonna be it, y'all. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Buy the book. Leave a review if you like. Well, actually, just leave a review.
All right, peace out.
Peace.